Hello, everybody, and welcome to our WrestleMania review show of the IWC Radio podcast. I'm Smoot, along with Chucks and Will. No Beans this week.
Shocker.
Shocker, I know, crazy. He did get his predictions in, which I'm kind of surprised that he did get his predictions in on time. But, how you guys doing this week?
Yeah, pretty good.
It's a pretty crazy week.
Yeah, say that again.
I have a list here of things to say.
Oh boy.
Oh
dear.
Talking points. This is the most preparation I've done for a show for probably nearly 10 years now. A lot of things have happened since we last talked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, definitely. I had a feeling. I mentioned it briefly during the show, but I had a feeling you might have something to say. After I saw your outburst on Twitter.
You say that. An outburst on Twitter is usually a lot more incendiary and potentially reputation ruining than what I'd done.
It was a very well formed outburst. I'll give you that.
Well, thank you.
It was very well.
I don't think it was too what can you say? Controversial. I think it was what we're all I
was just gonna say. I think you were
Hopefully.
pretty much on the money to how we were all thinking at the time.
Oh,
anyway.
have you seen the song that ChatGPT wrote about Vince McMahon?
I did see that as well.
I did not see this. I gotta see this here.
You're gonna love this.
Time. Vince
What's
McMahon's
the
mustache?
tune?
Oh, man.
I don't know. I asked it to write a song.
I see. Okay.
I said, right. That's gonna ruin it. Do a little rendition for us, mate.
Oh, he's the head of the game, the man behind the fame, but now his name is stained by scandals he can't contain. Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon. What's become of your reign? Your new mustache can't hide the pain as you take power from Triple H. Triple H again.
New mustache. It's great.
Yeah. Like it's supposedly like I thought ChatGPT had like knowledge up until like 2021. Well, I think there's a new version of it.
No, so the prompt I gave it was write a song about Vince McMahon, chairman of professional wrestling promotion WWE, who has recently been embroiled in a scandal involving inappropriate relationships with employees and has taken a position of power from his son-in-law Triple H. Include a reference to his new mustache.
Nice.
Inappropriate relationships with employees you couldn't resist. The consequences are now clear as the truth begins to appear. You've built an empire, it's true, but now it's falling apart too. Your son-in-law must step aside as you take control with pride. Vince McMahon. Oh.
I can't believe how it nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That does the chorus again. The road ahead is rough, but you're the one in charge tough. Your new mustache may be neat, but it won't help you keep your seat. That's pretty good, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually that's probably one of the better ChatGPT outputs I think I've seen in a while.
You just have to give it the right information.
Yeah, you really got to be like specific and like head on with it. Here's the outburst that you were talking about.
Oh no.
Saying I don't know whether to laugh or cry at this Vince McMahon news. It's a real punch to the crotch to have come so close to meaningful change, but it's also pretty damn funny that this company can't seem to stop itself from making every bad choice available to them. Is he oblivious to how he so strongly negatively influences morale, or does he just not care? And which is worse? In 2002, Vince claimed that he would kill what he created by injecting a lethal dose of poison. He did exactly that, but it wasn't with the NWO in the syringe.
Oh, that's a good one. I agree with that one. That's well written, I gotta say.
I like to think
Who wrote this stuff? This is brilliant.
I like to think that maybe this company would be better after Vince McMahon is dead, and while that his son-in-law has clearly been an
I
improvement.
understood that reference.
I'm not convinced that he's the answer either. The sooner they crash and burn, the sooner they can make the necessary changes. So through the pain, I'll cheer Vince on. Let's go all in, have him open SmackDown to remind us that we're still in it together, now and forever together. Bring back Bruce Pritchard too, and give Kevin Dunn a raise. Where are those glad-handing yes men when you need them? More is more. In 2000, I became a fan of this crap, and Vince McMahon has enjoyed mocking me for it ever since. Say what you will about inappropriate relationships with employees and dodgy embezzlement deals to cover them up. My issue is his inappropriate relationship with pro wrestling. Hey.
Oh, that's good.
Shawn Michaels once said, if the Vince versus God angle offended him as a Christian, he replied, no, it offends me as a wrestling fan. Vince doesn't like pro wrestling. He's ashamed of it. He doesn't care what you want because what you want is low rent and carny. Imagine that. A man as talented as Bryan Danielson, the physical ability he has, the craft he's so finely tuned, the intelligence, the tenacity, the dedication, means nothing to Vince because he's 5'8". The idea of Danielson as the face of WWE embarrasses Vince. So at this point, I was going to be like, hey, you want to do the show? And I was like,
that would have been perfect time.
Well, maybe. I was like, he's doing his thing. Let him cook, I don't want to interrupt. Should Cody have beaten Reigns? Probably. Will it mean anything long term? No. This is the bigger than one night of stupid booking and bigger even than the entire women's division wanting out. Vince and WWE is an abusive relationship that neither seems to be able to leave. Every positive move that Vince has ever made against his will, he had to be in touching distance of bankruptcy before agreeing to the Attitude Era. He had to be publicly shamed into giving divas a chance. Hi, AJ Lee. How you doing? And making stars who? I'll give you Undertaker. Hogan was made in AWA, Savage in Memphis, Warrior in World Class, Piper and Slaughter, and Crockett, Orndorff and DiBiase in Mid-South. Don't at me on those, by the way. Made is arguable, but whoever made them, Vince didn't. And I was like, definitely not going to interrupt him now because I'm not going to add him.
That's when you should have, because that's like history stuff, and I'm not very good on it. I'm pretty sure those are all at least somewhat accurate.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt saying that's mostly correct, I think.
Right.
And let's look at his track record of trying. Warrior flopped as Hogan's replacement. Luger didn't get off the ground. He made Triple H a spoiled rich kid and Owen Hart a superhero. If Vince had his way, WrestleMania 17 would have been headlined by Rocky Maivia versus the Ringmaster. All of which is to say that a nearly 80-year-old Vince McMahon retaking the reins is as laughable as it is baffling. He wasn't even good when he was good. The company can get out of its own way, and the collapse can't come quickly enough, if you ask me. I'm done.
I'm done.
There you go.
Oh, definitely.
Well said.
I think if there was a Dave Meltzer of wrestling outbursts, I think that would get 5 stars.
Now, if somebody was really creative, they would turn
I should have
all
written
of
it
that.
as Dave Meltzer. It would have been 3 times as long with all of the,
If somebody was really creative, they would turn that into a song every tweet there in that little rant. It's hard to disagree. I mean, but I think
your thoughts. What do you guys think about this whole Vince? First off, is it actually true? I'd only seen 1 or 2 little rumors, and that just exploded out of me. Is it actually true that he's taken over and things are that much worse now?
If you watch Monday, then
I didn't.
Yes.
I didn't watch Monday either.
I did, unfortunately. That was just not what we've seen since, when did Triple H take over? October, was it? Something like that?
Yeah, 6-7 months, something like that.
Yeah, that was just, none of it made sense. There was just literally nothing. There's any sort of logic behind anything. But then you fast forward to last night on SmackDown, and it was night and day. It was a totally different show. And by all accounts, the massive defining factor in all this is that Vince wasn't there.
Oh, so he actually...
Yeah. Funny how that works.
He was on...
Yeah.
He was backstage on Raw... at Raw on Monday.
Yeah.
Which, because it was in LA, so a lot of people just thought that he was just there because he was there. he'd been there for Mania weekend and what have you. So the big sort of test was whether or not he was going to show up last night on SmackDown.
Hmm.
And he didn't. I've actually seen some reports. I don't know how true it is because I don't know, but apparently it was at an Eagles concert. It's just that adds to the bizarreness of the weekend.
Yeah.
But whatever he was doing, he wasn't at SmackDown, and it was a 10 times better show than what Monday was.
Yeah.
So that tells you all you need to know, really. I think.
Yeah, here on the video screen here, that I guess I guess I could get away with showing it on the show here, but
It's a fan cam.
yeah.
No, there's two stories. Go on, I'll let you. There's two stories about this, but go on, I'll let you.
It's basically Seth Rollins coming out during a commercial break. He has a microphone in his hand, and then right here, he just chucks it at the announce table as it doinks off of it, because one of the stagehands tells him, "No, you're not supposed to be doing this right now." And so he comes out and then he just leaves.
So did he say anything, or was that just
Didn't say anything.
Didn't
say a word. Yeah. Well, supposedly the show was being rewritten as it was on the air.
Yeah.
Which
it was being rewritten on his way down the ramp.
Yeah.
Like this segment that's going on right now, that's being cancelled.
Yeah.
Well, there's another video of the same segment where they're actually in the ad break. And you can see it's all the lights are dark, so you can see that they're not on air. Like.
Yeah.
And you can see him. He's sort of leaned over the ropes and he's talking to about 3 producers, stagehands, and audio. And they're obviously talking about something. But then it's since come out. Who's the guy? Fightful. What's that guy's name?
Sean Ross Sapp.
Sean Ross Sapp.
That's the guy. Apparently, he's since said that was the plan all along. That was actually not changed. That was one of the few things that wasn't changed.
Weird.
That he was literally supposed to go out there and sing his song and then go back again. But I don't know.
Yeah, he's also said the show is categorically different than how it was laid out even a few hours ago. At least 2 matches scrapped or changed. And then somebody behind the production table saying that they're sitting behind production and they legit received 3 run sheets in the last 45 minutes, 2 since the show has started.
Yeah.
So something that hasn't happened
under going on with
Triple H.
Rollins, there's definitely something going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was just that. I mean, one thing I really didn't understand, and they had to continue with it now because they've done it. But they had, if you watch Mania, I know we're gonna get into that in a minute. They had the 4-way women's match. They called it the WrestleMania Showcase, whatever they called it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ronda and Shayna won.
Yep.
And then Monday Night on Raw, you had Liv and Raquel somehow in a #1 contenders match for the women's tag titles. Now, surely the people that won at WrestleMania, who weren't even on the show at all, surely they should get the tag title shot or the #1 contender shot. That would be logic to me.
I would have thought so.
Well, they weren't even mentioned. I don't know whether Ronda's on one of her long breaks she has. I don't know what that's all about. But yeah, it was just odd. The whole thing, and then you just had Omos coming out at the beginning of the show and demolishing Elias.
Here's the mustache that we were.
That doesn't scream Vince McMahon, does
that? Yeah, I don't know what this screams other than get away from him.
It's a different look.
It is a different look.
Like he's 1950 mob boss.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's say after like a sex scandal, do you really want that mustache? It makes him look more guilty.
It really does.
May as well lean into it, I guess. Grow a pervert mustache. Just why the hell not?
I sent that exact picture to someone I know. Doesn't really watch wrestling, but they keep up to date. Right? Just sent that picture, and I just got the reply was, "What the fucking hell is that?"
I simply said, Somebody should check on the whereabouts of Steph to see if she isn't strapped to like train tracks somewhere. Because my God, man, I don't understand why he can't just embrace the gray. Like he was fine going gray for the longest time, and now he's like dyeing his hair on top of the weird fucking mustache that he has.
Yeah, that'll be one of the next big sponsorship deals just for men.
Yeah, maybe.
It's totally natural. That's his actual hair color. He is now. Shane is grayer than Vince is now. That's totally normal.
Oh God. Why'd you have to bring up Shane? I just remembered what happened at Mania.
No, that was
that's another thing that we need to get to at some point. It's not going to be the biggest thing we talk about of the week, but
should we get into the review game here then?
Well, before we do,
okay.
I've had a letter sent.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
Still get mail?
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's a totally authentic letter. It's signed by someone called B.O. Toast. And it says, "Dear IWC Radio team, I'm writing to apologize for my absence from the podcast over the past year. I know that my lack of participation has been frustrating for all of you, and I'm sorry for letting you down." I think I know who this is from. B.O. Toast. I want to specifically apologize to Chuck. Oh, really? To me for not being able to live up to his wrestling prediction skills. I know that he's been doing a great job in my absence, and I feel bad that I haven't been able to contribute in the same way. The truth is, I've been dealing with some health issues and personal challenges that have made it difficult for me to keep up with the podcast. I'm getting older, and sometimes my body doesn't cooperate the way I want it to, but that's no excuse for not showing up or communicating with you guys. I also want to say that my passion for Manchester United has taken a toll on me this past year. As you all know, Manchester City has been outperforming us in the Premier League, and it's been challenging to keep my head up. But I know that this is no excuse for not showing up to the podcast, and I regret not being more committed. Again, I'm truly sorry for my absence, and I hope that you can forgive me. I'm committed to getting back in the game and contributing to the show as much as I can. I will work hard to improve my predictions and knowledge of professional wrestling so I can be a valuable asset to the team once again. Sincerely, Beans.
Oh, wow.
Beans, try not to take it so hard. It's okay. We understand. We understand. You've gone through a rough time with the football team in your advanced years. It's fine. It's fine. Just make it back when you can, on your own time. It's okay. We're holding it down.
Sheesh. I'm surprised he was able to write that much on whatever note he wrote there. That sounds like a novel.
Yeah. Completely legit letter that I received from him.
Wow. If I had known this, I would have set it to some music or something. I don't know.
Really, it would have been nice if I could have got him to read it. If he had shown, next time he shows up, I might come up with another apology for him to read. Do you think he would do it?
Maybe
do it. We get GPT to write an apology for him.
Think so?
This is Beans probably hearing this right now. If I had to guess. Just a heads up.
That's another thing we need to talk about. His big announcement.
Hello?
Wow.
Big week.
Yeah, it's been kind of a major week. I'm kind of glad we held off on Tuesday. I think it was for the better, because AEW kind of was like, "Oh, here's wrestling for you," and we'll get into that in just a sec here. So,
yeah. Rewind back to when wrestling was good on Saturday.
Back on Saturday.
I mean, it was.
See how far and how quickly we've fallen.
It was okay. I wouldn't say it was great. There was a couple highlights. But
you think it was that good?
I thought, well, at the end of Saturday, I thought, oh, this is going to be obviously the weaker of the two nights. Boy, was I wrong.
Wow. Okay. I think most people thought this was really good.
Yeah. The general thought I've seen is night one was the best and night two was bad.
Well, yeah.
Well, bad.
After night one, did you think that it was only going to get better? Do you think night two was going to be better?
I thought night two was going to get better, yeah.
Because I don't know. I thought night one was really good, and it's gonna be difficult to live up to.
One thing I noticed, I thought it just flew by. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
4 a.m. in our time. Till it's been on for about an hour.
All right, so we kick things off with Austin Theory and John Cena and the Make-A-Wish kids.
I thought, actually, since you mentioned, I thought this was probably the lowest part of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't bad per se, but it was still, compared to everything else, it was probably the weakest part, I thought.
Yeah, you're probably right. It was a thing that happened. It's fine. Cena did his thing. Austin Theory won, though. He retained, so that's points for everyone except for Smoot. I like Smoot's idea with Cena defending the belt on Raw, but wasn't to be.
Yeah, it's also as if I know what the hell I'm doing. And then Vince takes over, and all of a sudden, John Cena doesn't win. Surprise! Oh, well.
Well, that's how you know Vince wasn't writing night one.
Yeah.
Cena didn't win.
I guess not, yeah.
Yeah.
Got his grubby fingerprints all over this one, yeah.
So not much to say about that one, I guess. Theory's still your US champion.
Apparently it was shorter than it was supposed to be, according to the reports I've read afterwards. Should have gone a bit longer, but they, for some reason, didn't. Cena was doing a Lesnar, wasn't he? He wants to get out of there.
Yeah, probably.
May well have been. Then we had the first WrestleMania showcase, the 4-way tag match. This is the men's one, which was all action. It was great.
That's
Much better
brilliant,
than
I thought,
expected. Yeah. The Street Profits ended up winning, so that's a point for me and one for Beans, not for you guys who had Strowman and Ricochet. They looked alright. I hadn't seen these guys as a team before, and yeah, they're acceptable.
Yeah.
I didn't like the finish.
You didn't like the finish?
Yeah, with like...
with the knees. How did that
No,
not
that was
reach
alright.
Angelo's knees?
No, before that, with Dawkins just somehow out-bodying Braun Strowman on the outside. And then that was just enough time for Ricochet to launch off the top ropes and then the knees up, and it's like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. Leave it to the guys littering California with their plastic cups to win the match, Also, where is it here? This match was called by Titus O'Neil on commentary and did a great job because he pointed out that Otis. He pointed out that Otis is just a big sweaty guy, and
Yeah, he did.
there you go.
He was a lot better than I thought he was going to be. Oh, Jesus, that picture.
Who, Otis or Titus?
Titus, he was a lot better than... When I saw him come out, I thought, God, what are they doing? I don't think on him on commentary, but he was actually okay. He wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, he was great, and he kind of got schnockered on night 2 with the Mike's Harder Lemonade, which I thought would have been absolutely fabulous if he would have just stayed out there for the remainder of the show and just kind of got more and more buzz.
I didn't realise that was an alcoholic drink. I thought that was like a lemonade drink.
Well, that's why it's hard lemonade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And originally here, I was saying, yeah, this man ain't losing with a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids with him. And I was like, I blame each and every one of these twerps for not having Cena beat Theory at WrestleMania as their Make-A-Wish. What a lousy finish.
Speaking of lemonade, by the way, sorry.
Nope. Are we talking? We gotta drink.
Oh, did you?
Hold on.
Did you crack open
I did, sorry, but it was kind of...
Cambodia?
It didn't really open properly.
Didn't hear anything. I've also got some lemonade, strangely enough. It's apple juice and lemonade, but, still counts.
I'm on Sprite.
On Sprite.
Also...
that's all sugar-free.
Also...
Fan.
I feel like we can't ignore this. Here, hold on. For one of the hype packages for Rey Mysterio...
oh, God.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody on WWE used footage from Auschwitz.
How does that happen?
You know what? I mean, I can kind of
don't
see how
know.
they've probably done it. They just Google stock footage, haven't they?
Stock footage of like gloomy place or something, and it just comes up with that.
Stock footage, B-roll, Auschwitz. There you go. Yeah.
They, in all, I mean, yeah, it's bad, but in fairness, they have put up an apology out this week.
Yeah.
They've taken it down and they put up an apology, but I just don't know how you get that clip without it being labelled pretty clearly what it is.
Yeah, you'd think someone would pick up on it, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I can't say I'd recognise that that's what it is if I had seen it, but
True.
if I'm putting together a video, surely there's like a little tag on the clip, so you know. Anyway.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Well, this is from CNN. WWE apologized Friday for using footage of Auschwitz. Where on Twitter, the Auschwitz Memorial Museum said it was hard calling it an editing mistake. Oh man! Just
I can see why they made that mistake, but at the same time, you should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it would be like a modern day, like, if you're talking about, like, you know, death and destruction, you just stick in, like, footage of the Twin Towers getting struck by the planes or whatever. You know, like, oh, how did that get in there? Whoops! You know, like, it's hard to call it an editing mistake. I agree.
There's also that little bit at the bottom here where they try and... WWE is known for its outlandish storylines. In this father-son rivalry, Dominic eventually turned on Ray, culminating in an altercation on Christmas Eve. The gag was that though Dominic only spent a few hours in prison, he took on a hardened criminal persona.
Come on,
like when
CNN.
someone reads something out, it's as if to say, it's not funny, is it? This is what you've done. It's not really funny, though, is it?
Fake news, CNN. Come on. Get it together.
News Ray only spent a few hours in prison. They should apologise for that.
Yeah.
They should.
So four-way was good. Seth freaking Rollins, he beat Logan Paul, who had a can of what's his drink called?
Yeah, so I was at this point where if Rollins didn't win, I was just going to turn the show off.
So you didn't like the tag?
No.
That was... No?
What was on the line? Nothing.
Well, that's...
Otis was sweaty. Great. Thanks for pointing it out, Titus.
I give you that. That's true. There was nothing on the line there should have been.
Big Match John didn't show up. Like...
No, I'm sure he didn't.
So, yeah, I can't... What's his drink called?
Prime.
Prime. He came out with a Prime mascot.
Which was just KSI in a bottle.
Which turned out to be KSI, of all people.
Which, my joke was basically going to be, for old people, they would just have been like, why is R-Truth in a blue bottle at ringside? Because people are old and probably would have said, oh, that looks like R-Truth to KSI.
Who knows who KSI is?
He's a YouTuber.
He's a YouTuber.
I thought KSI hated the Pauls, but I guess I'm wrong.
Apparently they work together now.
How carny of them.
They basically made this Prime drink, didn't they? That's where it's all come from. But about a week or so, maybe even less, a couple of days before Mania, I've seen him being interviewed by BT Sport, and he was asked about Logan being involved in WrestleMania. And the interviewer said, would you ever think of getting involved in yourself? You know, would there anything you want to get involved in WWE yourself? Obviously, he knew what was going to happen at this stage, but he said no. He said no. I don't think I'll ever see myself getting involved in WWE. It's not for me. And then there he is, a couple of days later, dressed as a giant Prime bottle at WrestleMania. Roll through a table.
Yeah. By the way, that table spot was garbage. FYI, like. Rollins got out of the way, and then as he got out of the way, that's when Logan decided to leap from the top rope. Like, it looked bad.
Like, taking a selfie or something, he was kind of distracting himself, who wasn't looking what he was doing.
No, he wasn't doing that. KSI was, but yeah, no, the timing of it was awful.
I mean,
but the right
we
man
didn't
won.
find out till the match happened, but it was essentially just the big advert for Prime at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So
Yeah, that was not the last big advert we would have on the show.
no, unfortunately not.
So Seth Rollins wins. That's points for everyone. Logan Paul was still good. I mean, he's good again. I don't know if we need him, but this is another celebrity match that he impresses every time. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
For a guy that doesn't really do this thing.
Fuck him.
He did say.
I mean, yeah, there is that.
Apparently his contract up. But then he was quite arrogant about the fact that he thought he'd offered him a new one.
I thought he was on like a 3-year. Maybe I'm thinking of Cain Velasquez was on like a 3-year deal.
He was interviewed by that Ariel, what's his face?
Alani.
And he said in that, he said, my contract up not long after WrestleMania. He said, but I'm paraphrasing here, but he pretty much said, I'm gonna sign a new one. I mean, they'd be stupid if they didn't offer him a new one, but to think that you're gonna get one to be
presumptuous.
Yeah.
Especially, new owners and all that.
Just don't know what you do with him. He's not going to be a top guy. So does he just keep wrestling your top guys and losing?
I think the next thing they're probably doing is give him a title.
Just a lower one.
Not the title, but yeah, something like that.
Have him beat Gunter.
Oh no,
Sure,
don't do that.
Wouldn't mind seeing him being slapped around by Gunter.
Well, yeah.
That could be fun. We had the 6-woman tag here with Damage Control losing to Trish, Lita, and Becky, which was points for Smoot and Beans, not for me and Will. Any thoughts about this one?
It was a thing that happened.
It did.
The Becky bunch here, getting the win. Isn't there supposedly there was frustration with Becky with the outcome of this match, but apparently it was from like some sort of fake account or something like that was just trying to start shit. Yeah, Damage Control I think needs to pack it up and call it a day.
Yeah.
So what's going on with Bailey?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I said Bailey, not Becky. That's what I was talking about. Bailey was the one.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. Got my B's.
So that was a fake one.
Yeah. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that was the case or not. Yeah.
The tweet I seen was she tweeted a wave emoji.
Oh, that was Drew McIntyre.
Oh, I think she did it as well.
Well, let's take a look.
Sure
Here.
she did.
Hold on.
Because the story I read that apparently she was actually at Raw,
Yeah.
waiting to come out with Damage Control, and one of these magic rewrites that happened right in the middle of the show. She was told not to go out with them, and the Io Sky and Dakota went out, and she was left backstage, which is weird.
Wow, she hasn't really tweeted anything. Yeah, Indy
Well, she's taking it
Hartwell.
off. Or maybe it was fake. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's the second one. Oh, it's the top one, in fact. Sometimes the most romantic love story comes to an end. Bye.
That's right. Yeah, she's got a love story or something. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little bit cryptic, but if she hasn't been on TV this week,
No.
apparently her segment was cut from Raw. I don't know if there's anything else on that. But
Well, they had the other two go out, but she was told to stay backstage.
Oh wow.
So, got a little bit up in the air, and no one seems to know what's happening.
So she posted that 6:22 on April the 2nd, which would have been before the Sunday show. That's strange. Well, so I guess there's no further news on that one. Just
Not yet.
she's one of apparently many in the women's division who are not happy.
Yeah.
Wow, look at all the Twitter blue chuds.
Yeah, there's a lot. Everyone has one these days. So Trish, Lita, and Becky win. Trish didn't turn on Becky and Lita. They're all still friends for now. Trish apparently found her gear from about 20 years ago. She let the puppies loose.
Yeah, she was. They were coming out.
They really were. I thought that was supposed to be Natalia's gimmick, but
Yeah.
so on we go with the tag titles, I guess. Here we go. Here's the match. Mysterio, brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
God, yes. I was trying to
Broken
find.
family storyline.
Yes, I'm trying to
Super
find the.
emotional. Prison and all of that.
I'm trying to find the screen cap here. Hold on.
Serial
Stand by.
match.
Yeah.
Cereal.
Yeah, cereal. And I just simply said, "Is that going to be KSI too?"
And a second mascot of an angry
That's your.
cinnamon square.
That's WrestleMania next year. Cinnamon Toast Guy versus Prime Guy.
I just love the fact that they got like a full pan out, and then there's like cinnamon. This match is brought to you by Cinnamon Toast Crunch here with
Do you know
emojis
what?
on it.
I can deal with that, and that's okay. It's you can see a perfect example in that screenshot. It's all the ringside stuff around it.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. It was the first. I don't know. It was the WrestleMania showcase match with the tags, being sponsored by Intuit TurboTax.
The taxing.
There's some serious advertising on these shows. See, I'd be fine even with all of that crap around the ringside if this was a New Day match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
or Bray Wyatt.
Oh, yeah, Bray Wyatt. Who's got
That's
the
it,
dark,
though.
it's Bray Wyatt.
You can't.
Wait.
Yeah, you've got Cole talking about how it's an emotional situation list. Meanwhile, there's cartoons all around the thing.
Was there nothing else that they could have done this for?
Exactly. I mean, obviously, I can see why they do it. You know, I mean, they're talking about breaking all kinds of sponsorship records. You know, easy money. You think about it. But I don't know. It's just it didn't fit right with what was going on.
Well, if they would have done it during the women's match, it would have been like, oh, so they're treating the women like a joke.
Yeah.
That's either women's match, Rhea and Charlotte, or the trios.
But that would be a valid complaint.
Yeah.
But they're also treating these guys like a joke. Wherever they do it, they're treating that match like a joke.
True.
So
True.
there's not a good time, in which case is it really worth doing? Is it worth getting whatever it was, $1 million for doing that, whatever it was, Mountain Dew glow in the dark match? Is it? I don't know. I'd say probably not. Where is Bray Wyatt, by the way?
That's another story entirely.
That's another story.
Oh, no.
Injured with a creative issue.
Nah.
Yeah, the last thing I heard, he was ill. Apparently, that was about 3 weeks ago.
Long illness.
Speaking of the advertising stuff, I did see one tweet, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can kind of see where it's coming from. Not so much American football, more our football. There's a lot of advertising around the pitch on football games. Is it not just the same kind of thing? Which I suppose in a way it is, isn't it? But
Wait, hold on. What are we talking about?
In a way,
the advertising on the LEDs and stuff. It's
Oh, for soccer?
If you watch a soccer game, as you put it, the whole pitch is laden with ads for everything.
around the outside, so there's a similar kind of strip around the outside
Yeah.
that does advertising boards. But they're not, well, they're not usually that bright.
or
and there's not a
obnoxious.
mascot in the corner.
Thank you. That's what I was going to point out. Is that
Yeah.
KSI isn't
Oh,
dressed up as something.
No, I understand. Yeah, I appreciate they've gone a bit overboard on that, but it's just the graphics themselves and not just the same thing, really.
There's an example of a football match for you.
I don't agree with it. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's needed in wrestling, but
Yeah, I mean,
think
it's out of the way.
A football pitch is so much bigger
Yeah,
that it's not like right there in the action. Everything in this is glowing.
right.
Maybe if
You
they took
might-
it off the ring post and the ring skirt and stuff and it was
Yeah.
just around the boards, maybe.
Right. Now, if you would have had, like... forgive me, I don't know what that symbol is, but if they would have had, like, whatever
Yeah, who knows?
that sponsor is, like, actually on the field, then I could see what you're talking about.
yeah.
That's a really
You've made
subtle
them
one,
bigger
though,
on
so
the
it does get worse.
Etihad as well. You noticed that?
What do you mean?
What was that?
The advertising boards at the Etihad, the bigger than everybody else. What's that all about?
They've got a second row
Yeah.
that joins up with the top. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. They've stuck another row on, and they've synced it up so they're like from the camera view.
It's quite
second
clever
one
actually what
sits
they've
on top
done.
of the
Yeah.
first one. And so Ray actually beat Dominic in the end, which is how it should have been, but we all didn't think that was how it was going.
Fucking Bad Bunny interfered in the wrong goddamn match.
Bad Bunny. Yeah, there was a lot of run-ins in this one. We had the LW. I didn't even know the LWO were a thing again.
They reunited,
Yeah.
or they became a thing again on Friday, on that SmackDown, apparently.
So Legado del Fantasma are now the LWO, like full-time. That wasn't just a one-off Throwback Thursday.
Apparently
I
not.
thought it was going to be a one-off, but they were introduced last night as the LWO.
Well, this is as good a time as any to throw this one in. Apparently, Conan said something on his podcast about Triple H was very nice, and I might be talking to him again soon, or something along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's linked up to the LWO.
He's going to be
No,
like the
that's
front man or
cool.
something. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Leave it to Ray to, pander to the Rey Mysterio, or leave it to Ray to pander to Eddie Guerrero, like he's done for a good part of his career.
Made most of his career off that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool though, seeing they come out on the lowrider with the music.
Yeah.
There was another one of the Auschwitz story. So one of these
Oh,
other like
Jesus.
serious websites did a story where they were like, they explained all of like, this is horrific. How do they do this stuff? And then they explained during the match that Dominic Mysterio came out in a prison van. Rey Mysterio came out in a lowrider chauffeured by Snoop Dogg. that summarizes pro wrestling pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ray wins. The Dominic push, I guess, continues, but did they do anything this week? How did the fallout of this one play out?
I'm trying to forget as much as possible as what will happen on Monday. So I don't really know. Did I know they had a they call it a trios match then? I've been inducted by AEW. 6-man tag on SmackDown last night, which they won. But yeah, not much from Dominic yet. I don't know what they, I'm sure they were on Raw. I don't know what they did.
Was he just kind of in a Judgment Day segment and not?
Oh, they had a little tease actually, I remember now. We'll get to Raw in a bit. I remember what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe giving us a week to forget that he lost, and then they'll bring him back. Like,
Yeah.
Still means something. Okay, then we get to what I figured might well be the main event, and probably could have been. It was very good. Rhea Ripley is your new SmackDown Women's Champion. She beat Charlotte Flair, who apparently is taking some time off, if you can believe that.
Again,
Yeah,
just come
apparently
back.
so. She was back from the Rumble to Mania, won a title, lost a title, and she's gone again. Probably be back by SummerSlam, I imagine, to win another one.
Yeah,
you weren't the only one who wasn't happy about this one not being the main event, but Ric Flair wasn't really happy either. By all accounts.
I thought I wasn't happy. I'm fine with it. I think that what they did was the right thing to do. But...
Not gonna lie, I was gonna turn the show off because I thought that was the end of night one.
Yeah, he said the podcast.
WrestleMania show was really struggling to hold your attention.
Yeah, I was like, all right, Rhea won. Oh, that's good enough for me. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I know you had 2 more matches to go.
Yeah, he said on his podcast he wasn't happy that he thinks that should have been the main event.
Yeah, well, fuck him.
Yeah, well, no shit. Like, of course he did.
Fuck him. He's a putz. There's also this throwaway German or whatever from Rhea, where Charlotte landed literally on her face.
Oh god, yeah, that was harsh. Yeah.
And she had like a scrape on the bridge of her nose. But yeah, it's crazy.
Maybe she'll get another new face then.
Jesus. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
World titles at this point.
We'll see.
This was very good though. This was better than I was expecting. I know Charlotte is good, but I don't usually enjoy her matches that much. They always seem to be like, here's another Charlotte match, which I could say about Flair too. Actually, he was much the same. He was great for his time. He was one of the best, but it was always a Ric Flair match, and not really my thing. But this was good. This was 25 minutes of very good stuff.
Yeah,
right one, obviously Rhea was there, has clearly been their favourite for a long time. She's now on top, and see where that goes. And she could be holding this belt for a while.
No, I'm saying, man, the Charlotte match, she didn't really fill you with excitement.
No.
This was pretty good.
This was good. Did it get a 5-star? Let's see.
As Michael Cole put it in his, he said it was the, whatever, how many years, 25 years or whatever he's been an announcer. It was the damnedest thing he'd ever seen.
Yeah.
It's the damnedest thing he'd ever seen.
That was a meme a long time ago where he would just say, "This is the damnedest thing I've ever seen."
I must say
you've
though,
seen damneder things than this.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Dave apparently gave it 4 3/4, so pretty close.
Yeah, that's
Couldn't
pedantic.
go all the way with it.
On the subject of Coles, while we were mentioning him, I thought he was brilliant over the 2 nights. I thought some of the best work he'd ever done over the 2 nights.
He didn't stand out to me, and that's probably a good thing.
Just me on that one.
Now you mention it, he wasn't as annoying as he usually is, so I'll take that. That's pretty good.
I think, to be honest, it's not just this weekend. I think we're probably going to bring this up again, when we get onto the rest of the stories. But I think it's given that he's not having a certain someone shout around him down his ear all night anymore.
Well, maybe things will turn around again. Switching gears.
He's been really good. I mean, he's calling actual wrestling moves these days. So, anyway.
Yeah. We had The Miz and Snoop Dogg come out to announce the number, the big old, it's big people. Was it 83,000?
80,000, like 497 or whatever it was.
That is big people.
Way bang.
A real number, or is that one that's made up?
I'm sure it's inflated.
Ask Meltzer.
Yeah. Hell no. And Pat McAfee shows up. And Cole was surprised, and Graves was surprised, and I didn't know that he hadn't been there the whole time.
Credit to the third.
Last time I saw him was it the Rumble that he showed up, and I guess he disappeared again, and
yeah, he's last thing he tweeted out that he was deciding on what to do because he didn't know whether he was going to come back to WWE or do more of the college football show he was doing and stuff. Or
Credit the third bottle.
Yeah. So that's a thing for him. He's got to decide whether to do WWE or college football. I know
That's
college
basically
football's
what it
big, but that's pretty bad for WWE. Isn't it?
I mean-
They're competing with college football.
I mean, college football is wrapped up now, so I mean, there's really no reason for them to not be back, other than the fact that he's got a kid on the way.
Well, there's that, but I know he does his own show every day, doesn't he? Radio show.
That too.
So I suppose he's got to think of. I suppose the big thing with WWE these days is travel, isn't it? You've got to go wherever they are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him. I like Barrett on SmackDown, so I wouldn't mind maybe seeing him just do pay-per-views.
Yeah,
But,
maybe.
He doesn't want him. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'd like
see
to
how
see
that
him
goes.
on TV.
I'm sure he'll be connected with the thing. He'll make his appearances here and there, I'm sure. And then we get to the real main event. Oh, wait, no, we don't. Pat McAfee showed up and he beat The Miz in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And I don't know why this didn't have the cereal. This could have been the Cinnamon Toast match.
No, because it's sponsored by Mountain Dew.
How was it?
Hence the bottle.
This could have been.
Everything's
This could have been LA Knight.
Could have been Bobby Lashley.
I think LA Knight was going down and giving Miz a good eye, and that would have gone over quite well.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pat
Still,
McAfee
I still say at some point they've got to get him and Austin in the same ring together.
doing a yeah what.
Yeah. We've got to do it at some point, surely.
One day. Disappointed we didn't see Steve Austin. I understand The Rock. He's got XFL to do. Steve Austin's been working out and posting these like thirst trap videos about his, getting the guns out and stuff. No Austin.
Yeah.
What the hell? Anyway, we get to the main event, and Austin's nemesis Kevin Owens comes out with Sami Zayn. They're back together again, taking on the Usos. 24 minutes for the undisputed tag titles, both sets of tag titles, which the Usos have held for a year, I believe. And we finally have new champions. It happened. The right thing happened. This was really good too. And Dynamite Dave did give this one the full 5 stars.
Really?
I would
Everything on the show that got the 5 stars.
I would deduct half of a star for how creepy these fucking CGI statues were.
Yeah, we should stop that. They're always too shiny. So shiny.
They look more bronze than the fucking Andre the Giant statue of the trophy.
It's true. It's definitely true.
Yeah, it was a decent match.
That's it. You are so difficult to please. I don't know what you're looking for.
I mean, there was like a zillion fucking super kicks. It was like an elite match.
Yeah.
I mean, come
Yeah,
on.
you're wrong. That is the thing that happened. They do like their super kicks.
I would have given, if I had to give 5 stars to a match, it probably would have been Charlotte Rhea, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you know.
Yeah, so we gave 5 to that, 4 3/4 to the women, and 4.5 to Rollins and Logan Paul.
Oh, what the fuck?
Highest ranked. Yeah.
Dave, come on.
Dave loves his moves. He's a moves guy. So that's the end of that one. They finished the story. At least someone did. Owens and Zayn win the tag titles to end the show. We'll get a point, so everyone's happy there. At the end of night 1, Smoot and Will, you both got 4 points out of 7, so holding above the 50% mark. Pretty good. I got 5, and Beans runs away with it on 6. Only Dominic Mysterio let him down.
Didn't I originally pick Street Profits?
You were back and forth on that one.
Yeah. And eventually I changed it. I should have just kept it. I know I was originally going to go with the Usos, and I swapped that. I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know how you fucking put John Cena in a title match on WrestleMania and have him lose. Blame it on the
anymore.
Yeah, blame it on the bald spot or whatever.
The bald spot was really bald.
Yeah.
He's grown the hair out, so the bald spot looks even worse now.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
He's normal Cena now.
He's just a guy. Just a jacked guy. So, overall thoughts on night one? Will, you said it was good. Smoke, you're not so sure.
I thought,
I liked it.
night one was. It was a night one of WrestleMania. I'll say that. Like, I thought night two was going to be a lot better.
So you had high hopes for night two.
Yeah.
That's good. We like to have high hopes around here. We like to see them get dashed. Right, night two kicks off as we suspected with Omos and Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar beats Omos within 5 minutes and he is out of there.
Told you.
Back to Saskatchewan within the hour.
Didn't we call this? Like.
Yeah, we did.
Like, straight up.
I
Like.
tweeted at the start of the match, here comes the pain, knowing that my next tweet was going to be there goes the pain.
Yeah.
That was it. Brock Lesnar in what we had thought may had been his last match.
Just kidding, haha.
He just wins and gets out of there.
Yeah.
That can't be the end for Lesnar. He's got to do more.
Well, no, judging what happened on Raw, it's not.
I think I'd heard about this. Okay.
God.
Do you guys remember the story when Vince first was kicked out or stepped down or whatever actually happened? Lesnar walked out on that Raw and said, "If he goes, I go."
Yeah.
And they had to convince him to come back.
Yeah.
If he's back, maybe Lesnar's back.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. There's not much to say here. Is that it for Omos? Do the Homo sapiens, they're in a shambles right now? Has he lost faith with the Homo sapiens? Is that whole thing going to die now?
He was on Raw on Monday night, but then that could just be because a certain someone was running things.
Yeah. What did he do?
He battered Elias.
Oh, okay. So just right back to doing almost things, I guess.
Yeah, in about 3 seconds, I think it was.
Cool. Well, take that. Then we get to the aforementioned women's WrestleMania showcase 4-way tag match, and the 4 horsewomen, the 2 horsewomen, beat Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Natalya and Shotzi, Chelsea Green, and Sonya Deville, who used to be Carmella. As we all suspected, horsewomen points all round. Oh, and Lesnar points all round. So we're getting off to a good start on this show. It wouldn't hold up, but good start. Anything to add about the women's match? I'm guessing probably not.
I've said before, the Cena theory was the weakest of night 1. I think this was the weakest of night 2.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Other than the match that wasn't really much of a, if that counts. We'll get to that. And we went from the probably weakest match of the night to what I think may well be the best one. 3-way for the IC title.
No.
Gunther retains against Sheamus and McIntyre. I am relieved. During the match, I thought, throughout the whole thing, I thought either Sheamus or Drew was going to win it. It just seemed like they were the guys, but nope. Gunther shows up at the end and he just lays them out. It's great. Points for everyone except for you, Smoke. You thought Sheamus was going to do it to complete his, whatever it would be now, double, triple crown, double Grand Slam.
Unfortunate that he didn't. And then
He has to wait.
Drew McIntyre posted the wave emojis after this match as well. So, read into that what you will.
There's some talk this week about he's possibly just having some time off to deal with some injuries.
Supposedly.
There's also talk that his contract is up at any time in the next few months.
And if his contract runs out, there's no 90-day compete for a certain thing that happened that was recently announced by AEW, which we'll get into in a moment.
Oh.
So.
To be honest, I think that's just the internet putting two and two together. I don't.
Maybe. I mean, they could be right. The internet sometimes comes up with 4.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong. It could
Sometimes.
happen. But...
He's capable.
Yeah.
The internet hive mind sometimes gets it right. This match was awesome, though. This was everything we wanted it to be. I think you may agree.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Super hard hitting. If they didn't need time off for injuries beforehand, they probably do now. Gunther retains, so this goes on. I don't know who his next challenge is going to be. What he does now.
No, there's not really been much said about that. No clues on SmackDown either.
No. But I'm glad he did. I like this Gunther guy. Lesnar, give him to Lesnar. I just see that. That's the one.
I read a story that even Lesnar said that could be a good idea, so maybe that might actually happen.
Lesnar knows. Lesnar gets it. Alright, let's move on to the Raw Women's title match. Bianca, reigning champion, defends against Asuka. Me and you, Will, we got it wrong here. Bianca retains. Her year-long reign goes on.
Yeah, surely it's time for a new champion.
I would have thought.
Asuka now 0-5 at WrestleMania.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
There's some stat line from that. Let me see if I can find it here.
That has to be one of the worst records at WrestleMania, isn't it?
I don't know, maybe.
Someone's got to put that together. Worst WrestleMania win-loss records. Who has the most matches at WrestleMania? Goldust, Matt Hardy. No, here we go. Dolph Ziggler 9 losses. Randy Orton 9 losses. Yeah, but he's won as well. Triple H 13 losses. Yeah, but he's won. I want to know who's never won.
Right now, Asuka. Tonight, Asuka becomes the only woman superstar to currently be 0-5 or worse in her WrestleMania career. All other women superstars with 5 or more non-kickoff WrestleMania matches have won at least one of them.
Goldust, apparently. Oh,
Jeez.
pre-show. If you included 12, we're only counting the main show. So yeah, Goldust, 0-7. Yeah.
Wow.
Shelton Benjamin is 1-8. So that's okay. Dolph has competed in just one singles match. I lost 2 years ago to 8 other losses. Dolph Ziggler, 9 losses. Apparently he's not won a WrestleMania. So Asuka's got a little way to go. Bianca Belair beat Asuka. Points. Okay, so the Miz came out to do his thing again.
This is where the show tanked.
People.
This is where the show fucking tanked.
It did and it didn't for me, because obviously it went wrong, but at the same time, it kind of worked out, because I thought Snoop did. I'm not particularly a fan of Snoop Dogg, but I thought he did well. I thought he coped with it quite well. Given, obviously it was live,
Circumstances.
80,000 people, he could have quite easily. I mean, I suppose he's used to big crowds and stuff,
But calling this on the fly, I don't know.
There's a couple of there's a video you've seen it, Smooth. There's a video of you can see the cameraman on the opposite side by the announce desk. Been shamed on the floor. He's getting attended to. The cameraman makes sort of a punch gesture towards Smooth. Towards Smooth. Gonna punch you, Smooth.
Whoa, what did I do? What the hell?
Towards Snoop, and then I don't think the Miz actually knows what's happening. The next minute, he's got his head turned the other way, and the next minute he's getting punched by Snoop.
Yeah.
But then, and then you can see it on the show as well. You can quite clearly. Oh, what's wrong with me today? You can quite clearly hear the referee shout people's elbow
Yeah.
at Snoop.
Jessica Carr, yeah.
Yes, that's the name. I couldn't think of her name. But yeah, I thought everyone did quite well given what happened.
Yeah. So Miz comes out to do his thing. He announces the number with Snoop again, just like he did the night before, and then just like the night before, he gets interrupted. It's here comes the money. Shane McMahon is back. He's grayer than his dad, mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and he was blown up.
Little shuffle.
He was totally blown up, dude.
He always was. Whenever he would get down to the ring, he was always blown up. This is an extra long ramp because it's WrestleMania. He was done. So they end up having a match, obviously, Miz and Shane. And out of nowhere, Shane just collapses. Apparently tore his quad.
Tries to get back up, falls back down.
Yeah, just like his dad. Tries to stand up.
Miz looks down at him like a goof, like, uh-oh. And then Snoop just comes wandering in. Yeah. Great ad-libbing. Absolute great ad-libbing on Snoop's behalf.
Oh,
kind of, but I don't really understand how Snoop Dogg wins a match between The Miz and Shane McMahon.
No.
It's WrestleMania, shut up.
That's WCW booking right there.
Yeah, it really was, actually.
But he did. Snoop Dogg jumped in and he wins the match even quicker than Pat McAfee did the night before.
Yeah.
Add another 2 to Miz's losses at WrestleMania. Then we move on back to the real matches. Hell in a Cell.
Oh, Jesus. I was looking forward to this one, and then I saw the entrances, and I was like, Jesus fucking Christ.
You didn't like the entrances? Didn't like Finn Balor's smoke sticks?
No, because he had the Johnny Nitro slowdown effect, for whatever reason.
He did, yeah. He went slow-mo.
And, hey, don't you remember Brood Edge? Does anybody else remember Brood Edge?
Yeah, when he was called Brood Edge.
Yeah. And how he dressed up like a half-assed disco ball?
Is that not... I thought that was the helmet Triple H had on a few years ago when he dressed as Terminator.
Maybe, I don't know.
Looks quite similar.
And then...
Brood Edge is like something you see listed on one of the games.
Yeah.
Games.
Yeah.
Yeah. A different version of Edge.
98 Kane.
Yeah, Brood Edge versus 1998 Kane at 1988 SummerSlam.
Yeah, so Brood Edge came out. There was no Gangrel, but he did come up through the fire as he tends to do. Probably too often now. It's a super cool entrance, but he does it every time.
Match
no Gangrel. He comes out first to the Brood music, and then he takes the disco ball off and does his own entrance. Demon Balor comes out, waving some smoke around. That's cool. I like to see the demon again. And then they have a cell match.
With colorized weapons.
Because why wouldn't you?
No real meaning.
Because it didn't paint the cell this year.
Maybe.
Yeah, no red cell.
You can have the gray cell back, but we're gonna colorize the weapons for no reason. Deal. And then, Edge.
This should have been sponsored by like a paint company or something.
Sherwin-Williams, yeah.
Been perfect.
And then, Finn's
there's
touching both
Dew
colors.
Got red and purple.
Code Red and Pitch Black.
Pitch Black, there you go.
Ah.
Pitch Black again, bringing it back.
Edge with the purple table, someone tell him he's on the red team. Like, this match sucked. This match sucked.
Like
And then-
TNA rules there. You can only use the weapons that are your color.
Yeah. Without explaining
DQ
what
if you use someone else's.
Right, yeah.
I
God.
thought, there was some silly things going on, don't get me wrong, like that, but I thought that overall it was okay.
It's a good match. Yeah.
I will say, I might have been a little bit harsh on it. when they had to fucking stop the match to tend to Balor. Because apparently...
Yeah, but did you see the aftermath?
I saw it. I can't put it on... I don't think I could put it on the stream, but yeah, it was just a flesh wound, alright.
Oh god, that's one of the worst I've seen.
Here. Let me make sure.
Have you seen it? You seen it, Chuck?
Look at this.
I don't know if I saw, like, the worst of it. Just a flesh wound. Oh, whoa, no, I didn't see that.
They stapled it.
God.
On the spot.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's like what he paints on himself.
Yeah. I would say the face paint actually helped out on him. Only a scratch to an Irish fella. From Sheamus. Yeah, that...
Yeah, that's crazy.
When you look at it, though, it doesn't look like it hit him that badly. I mean, clearly it did, but...
That's when the ladder bonked off of his head.
Yeah.
Gotta get your hands up, buddy. See, they stopped the match to tend to it, which... In hindsight, I mean, at the time, I was like, okay, this is, like, he got cut open. They're just, tending to a cut of some sort.
Yeah.
That's a gash. Like, that's a straight up, like... Hey, you gotta tend to this, I feel, which I think was the right call in hindsight. So maybe stopping the match in hindsight was the better option than letting it go. The fucking colorized weapons and without zero explanation needs to fucking go. Straight up. That was a big fucking detractor from me. And the other thing about it was the fact that they pulled like an AEW and they showed like the platform that somebody was going to be launching off of. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, this one.
I'm seeing there's the shot. Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, here we
Has
go.
that always been there? Or was that put that there for this? I think maybe. I know they added the camera in recently, didn't they?
Yeah.
Automatic camera.
But why would they have a platform right next to the camera
Yeah,
like that?
I don't know. That's new, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. This one's just going to be a faint memory, I feel. It's just going to be like, hey, remember that Hell in a Cell with the colorized weapons?
Not really.
Not really.
It wasn't.
Was that the one with Demon Balor and Brood Edge?
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst Hell in a Cell. I mean, it was better than the
Oh god, no.
whatever happened with Rollins and Wyatt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was alright.
I don't know. Hell in a Cell doesn't really mean what it used to.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think that's what
Thank
they're
you.
trying to do. They wanted to getting rid of the pay-per-view.
That
Trying to
may help,
build it
but it's
into something
been
again.
So long. It's been 25 years or more now. And
Do we need a new Hell in a Cell? I think.
yeah, we need
Almost
like a
retire
Hell in a
it.
Cell that's got fire in it.
Retire it.
Fire
I don't really know what else they could do. I mean, what else could they tried? What was the prison thing that was supposed to be a...
The Punjabi prison.
Yeah, that
was
didn't go
awesome,
anywhere,
we
did
loved
it? No.
The
But,
Kennel from Hell.
I never seen that. That was WCW, wasn't it?
No, that's WWE.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was before my time.
Good. The dogs weren't playing along. More interested in each other than doing their jobs.
No.
So, Edge ended up winning that one because you got to put over the young guy, I guess. And
Can
that's
you just
booked
imagine
well.
there was. Oh yeah. Realize it. Hey. Can you just imagine earlier on the day, can't you? From the backstage meeting, from some stagehand because you go paint them kendo sticks.
Yeah.
That is someone's job. You got to put the coloured tape on the kendo sticks. And
Stagehand.
whatever it is, spray paint the table purple.
Yeah.
Wacky business. And then the main event of all main events here.
Jesus fucking
The end of
Christ.
the story. The Royal Rumble winner, the big comeback, the finally living up to your father's legacy, doing what he never could, one of the greatest of all time, filling in that missing piece of his career, whatever. Cody Rhodes enters to the biggest stage of his career against the unstoppable force Roman Reigns. His 900 and whatever it is, 40-day reign, surely coming to an end. Surely. Right? No?
No.
Apparently not.
Goddamn pal, no.
Well, so they did the run-ins. They did the obvious run-ins. The Usos came out, but they were cut off by Owens and Zayn. They did lots of kick-outs and lots of finishes and false finishes. Maybe the biggest story of the night, what you've got up here, someone's filled in the R. the American Nightmaker's no more.
Unfortunately, it was back on Raw.
Oh my
maybe
God.
unfortunately for him, this is the first time he's lost, and it's the only time they've had that saying Nightmare. Maybe he needs to be the American Nightmaker. That's where his power comes from.
Maybe.
There's a one-to-one correlation here. The one night that he's got the proper R, one night that he loses. Solo Sikoa just does the Samoan Spike and Rhodes is done. That's it. It was a worse kind of deflation anticlimax finish than even Cardiff when Drew McIntyre lost.
It was worse than the fact that they had 6 pianos on the stage and didn't play his theme all the way out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know.
Apparently, this isn't the end of the story.
I guess not. There's an epilogue. You predicted Reigns, Will. You are the one. The one. Put your ones up. We all went for Rhodes. You got Reigns, so that's a point for you. Why did you think this was the right thing? Because maybe you know what they're thinking better than we do.
I just didn't think he's ready. I didn't think it's too early.
It's almost 1,000 days. How's it too early?
For Cody.
For Cody,
It was the right time for Reigns to lose it.
Oh,
I think you're right. Cody, maybe because he missed out on those 8 months, he was gone for so long.
Yeah.
That he came back and it was like kick-started and it didn't really feel ready for him.
It all seemed too quick. I mean, it come back and straight away he was in the Rumble. There was no real explanation.
Yeah.
He just, I'm back from injury, I'm in the Rumble.
Number 30.
Yeah.
Didn't even have
Number
a long
30
Rumble.
as well. Yeah. And then, straight away he's in the main event of Mania, obviously, and then I don't know. And I think, as well as all that, I really think they want to break that 1,000-day record. They've been mentioning it more and more the last few weeks.
Right. Well, they may as well now.
Well, no, obviously as we're getting closer to it, they're bound to. But I just think they want them to break that record. So yeah, so they can, you can see the t-shirt, can't you? 1,000-day champion and all that.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I think that's where they want to go with it. But I just don't think Cody. When I say Cody's not ready, I don't know who is. To be honest.
Well, no one. That's
exactly.
That was a difficult thing. It was the right time for Reigns. He's done everything he needs to do. Someone could have beaten him then, and it would have felt right. But I think you're right that Cody wasn't there yet. There's a mismatch. It didn't all come together like a good WrestleMania match should. So that's that. And
there's a lot of people saying it. Well, yeah, there's a lot of people saying where they go from here, but I think a lot of people aren't saying that. I think this could actually be the making of Cody. I think he's going to be better chasing it.
After the match, I was like, this is probably Tony Khan right now.
Where the hell did you get that picture?
I don't remember, actually, but it's pretty great.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Where's that from?
Kind of terrifying. Okay, so end of night 2, end of WrestleMania, end of the prediction season. We got final scores here. For the night, me and you, Smoot, we did pretty badly. Just a 50%, 3 out of 6 on the night there.
I don't blame us. I blame the booking.
Yeah. How could you predict that? Beans went one better. He's got 4 out of 6, but Will had a hell of a night. He's in tune with this Vince guy. 5 out of 6, nearly a perfect game. So at the end of everything, 75 matches predicted across the year. It's actually surprisingly close. This is really good. It's probably the best we've ever done as a competition. Will, unfortunately, despite your big finish there, only 50 out of 75, which is still good. That's 67% thereabouts. Smoot and Beans both on 52 out of 75 in a joint second place, 69%. That's nice. And I'm only just ahead, 55 out of 75. That's 73%. So pretty good. I mean, I'll take the win. I think that is that both. I think I've done the double this year.
Yes, you have. Yeah.
Hell yeah. So it's all the pressure's on now for next year.
Yeah, apparently.
So
Congratulations. So now it makes sense why Bean sent you that note.
What's that?
I said, now it makes sense why Bean sent you that note.
Yeah.
Man.
Totally Beans. He definitely sent me that.
I hope he listens to that
real.
back.
Sorry, Smoot, I meant to send you that before, but I've only just made it. If you want to throw off.
Yeah, hold on. I'll get it here. Hold on. It's going to take a moment, but we'll get it there. Hold on. But yeah, probably one of the worst WrestleManias, I would say, to recent memory.
Really?
Wow, that's so harsh. That the end, I give you that end, and that's a big part of WrestleMania. The main event finish, they completely failed on that one.
I'll say this:
I thought it was good.
I wouldn't say it's the worst, but I would say it's like a top 5 contender for like one of the worst WrestleManias, in my opinion.
Wow.
I know. Just night 2 was supposed to be, I think, better than night 1, and it just wasn't to me. The fact that like you had the Demon Balor, who we haven't seen in months, come out to lose in a goofy colorized weapon match in a Hell in a Cell. It was just, I don't know. It really sucked. I blame Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon fucking cursed that show.
It's fair to say a McMahon's return did ruin that show.
I don't know. I think you're being a bit harsh there, to be honest. I thought I'd say there were a couple of low points. You're gonna get that in any show, aren't you?
Yeah, low point. Lesnar and Omos, with nothing on the line, and Lesnar just leaving town like he usually does at the beginning of a WrestleMania.
See, even that, okay, it wasn't what we wanted. I don't think that's a big thing. It's not. A lot of it wasn't what people wanted. And
people wanted Asuka as champ, and she's 0-5.
Well, people wanted Reigns to lose, and he didn't.
Yeah.
You're not going to get everything that you want. That's the point of wrestling.
It's the second year in a row where the Royal Rumble winner doesn't win at WrestleMania.
I don't have a big problem with that. I don't think winning the Rumble shouldn't guarantee you're going to win the Mania.
Yeah, but it's Cody had to finish the story, and the story's unfinished.
Well,
what grander stage? What grander stage are you going to have to finish the story than WrestleMania?
Next WrestleMania.
Next WrestleMania.
Oh my god!
You have to wait another year for him to finish the story.
And we've mentioned.
I don't know if I could take another year of him talking about his dad and finishing the story.
And we mentioned this before, like if it wasn't Sami Zayn in Canada, if it wasn't Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania in Hollywood,
Drew McIntyre in Cardiff, yeah.
Drew McIntyre in Cardiff, who's it going to be? Like, those are big opportunities right there. And you mean to tell me it's going to be Jey Uso? Come on.
Yeah, it's not going to be Jey Uso.
Like,
funny enough, John Albert asked that at one of the press conferences. He asked Triple H that pretty much that question. He said, well, if it's not, the question he said was, would you ever consider changing the plans based on reaction? And he said, well, obviously we've shown that we don't. If we were going to do that, we'd have given it to McIntyre in Cardiff. Or we'd have given it to Sammy in Canada. The idea is we stick to the plan, which tells you they do have a plan. But
How about this? It had Ronda Rousey winning. It's a terrible WrestleMania.
In such a nothing match, I don't think that's a problem.
I know.
If
I'm being a little facetious there.
Yeah, I know. You're not a big fan of Ronda. If she was in Rhea Ripley's position and she won instead, that would be an issue.
Yeah. Now that's Auschwitz. Anyway.
I'm sure you can say that. I don't know. I think you're right. Who is it going to be now? There's been long reigns before. JBL's big reign on SmackDown back in the day, 04, 05. He beat everyone. He beat Taker, he beat Big Show, he beat Kurt Angle, he beat Booker T, he beat everyone in that main event mix. And it took Cena coming up out of nowhere, being the new guy, to knock him off. And it kind of felt right. You've beaten everyone there is to beat, but how about this guy? We've never tried this before. It was kind of cool. That was the making of John Cena. Well, I don't see that guy in WWE right now. Bron Breakker's going to have to get really good really quick. Which maybe he can. I don't know. But
maybe.
Who else is there?
I thought he might be coming up, but he lost the title, didn't he? In the NXT show. But then he was on NXT on the Tuesday, and he's turned heel now. He took out Carmelo Hayes.
There you go, Chucks. Ta-da.
Oh.
Had to do it live there. I didn't have it.
Hey! Woohoo!
Back to back.
I now got 2 belts.
Chuck's 2 belts, yeah.
Chuck's 2 belts?
That looks a lot like the other belt I've got.
What do you mean, this one?
Right, yeah.
just with different side plates, yeah. Look at that.
That's alright.
I mean, that's fine. Like, the AEW belt is fucking ugly looking to me. So. Yeah, I don't know. Are they still just holding out for The Rock at this point? I don't get it.
Here's the thing. If you are holding out for The Rock, I can't believe you don't do it at WrestleMania in LA. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
That's the time to do that. When else can you do it? Are you going to wait for another year and WrestleMania 40, like the big one, that's when you bring The Rock back and he ends Roman Reigns' 1,200 day?
Christ.
Or do you do it at SummerSlam? Do you do it at some point in the middle and try to make that show even bigger than... Because SummerSlam just feels like a letdown if we do it at SummerSlam. WrestleMania was right there.
They're trying to make SummerSlam into a big deal, aren't they? They're doing it at a stadium this year again.
Yeah.
Would you do the greatest WrestleMania in the beautiful city of Jeddah? That could be.
They're doing it in...
Give it to Mansoor.
SummerSlam.
Mansoor.
Mansoor. Whatever happened to him?
He's still around?
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing SummerSlam in... They did Mania there a few years ago, at Ford Field, Detroit. So yeah, they're trying to make SummerSlam into a big, maybe like a WrestleMania B type show. I don't know.
That's what it used to be.
Yeah. That's why it was part of the big
Maybe
four.
Before long we'll get 2 nights of SummerSlam.
I like this tweet here that pretty much sums it up, saying that it's going to be a real bummer when Cody loses, and the real WrestleMania main event tonight is a Titantron video of Rock sending in from the set of Jumanji 4 Jungle Jam, being like, Roman, you may be the tribal chief, but your candy ass makes tribal queefs.
Oh!
And that's
actually a Rock line, too.
Yeah.
I can hit.
That's 100% spot on.
That's exactly
video he put out on his Instagram, or whatever it was, the day of, I think, the Sunday.
Yeah, it was like...
And
was he eating 30 chickens or something? That's usually
No, it was actually straight up Him on the set, like a movie set somewhere.
Oh, is that maybe I'm thinking of the different one? But I think he was in his gym, and he'd
Oh,
been
that's a
trained or
green
something.
screen. He's not on the set of anything.
Where's this from?
Live action Moana, yeah.
Jesus Christ, the live action Moana. They only just did the normal one. That was
That's
that?
right.
That was like 8 years ago.
Yeah, no, that was after that. But the day before that, he tweeted something about he was in his gym and he was talking about WrestleMania, and he said he wished everyone good luck and for the night and whatever. And he said he mentioned Roman. And he said, "Oh, maybe." He stopped for a minute, and he was obviously on purpose. He stopped for a second. And he was like, "Maybe I'll see you down the line, brother," or something like that. That's the one there with his Iron Paradise shirt.
It's
And
4 minutes. What the fuck?
He goes to do at the end of the video. He goes to do his if you smell, the thing that he's always do. And he stops for a minute and he goes, "No, maybe I'll save that for another time." And everyone, that was like the afternoon of the night too, and everyone thought maybe he's definitely showing up at Mania tonight.
Down in Florida, all around the world. Again, Team WWE behind the scenes. Congratulations and thank you so much for all your incredible work. And I'll just end this with the most appropriate way the People's Champ knows how. If you smile, I gotta save it. I'll save it for down the road. Let's enjoy WrestleMania weekend, baby. SoFi Stadium, People's Champion. I'm out. Love you guys.
What a goober. What a goober.
Is he looking a little bit skinnier? Just a little bit.
It looks the same to me.
It looks like someone who was ready for WrestleMania, the Lion Prick.
Got a point there, Will. I mean, look, you gotta stop blue balling The Rock. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't just be like, oh, we keep teasing The Rock, it's gonna happen someday. He's the one that's blue balling WWE. It's the other way around. It's the problem. Like,
I was gonna say, no one's blue balling, like, no one's teasing The Rock more than The Rock is.
Right.
He's the one saying, like,
he's
clanging and clanging, still going.
Putting videos up like that, and he knows what he's doing. He's not soft.
Yeah. That's ridiculous. Right.
Yeah.
Should we cover Monday Night Raw?
To go now as to what is so bad about this Raw show. What happened with Cody?
Right, let me get the
Presumably, I didn't see it, but I think following on from that WrestleMania, that disappointment, I think he comes out to start the show. He looks kind of down, but he's fiery. He's a babyface. He says, "That wasn't my night. I got screwed. I'm gonna fight through this. I'm sorry to all of my fans who believed in me. This wasn't how it was supposed to go. The story's still ongoing. I will finish it. Solo Socorro, I want you first, and then I'm coming back for the Tribal Chief." And it's all fiery, and everyone's really happy. And he's got a new vision for the future, and that's setting up something down the line. But he's got to go through the bloodline first. Is that what happened?
Close.
No.
Close.
No?
You're close.
Basically, we're kind of jumping ahead a bit here because the bigger news kind of came out during the day on Monday.
With the Endeavor
before
deal.
Raw even hit the air, yeah. WWE has been sold, which you've not mentioned yet.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
It's now the deal hasn't actually officially gone through yet, but it won't take long. But they've been sold to Endeavor, not to Saudi, no.
But not like this one's any better, but at least it's not the Saudis.
Well, that doesn't see why this is that bad. I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
I mean, it has Vince still in. Yeah, that is true. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah.
So yeah, Endeavor. If anyone doesn't know, they are the owners of UFC.
Yeah.
Multiple other companies as well. They've got a lot to do with the Premier League. I didn't know.
Really? What do
they own? IMG Media, which is a big partner of all like the TV deals and stuff with the Premier League. So but there's if you look on the Endeavor site, there's thousands of companies that they've got partnerships and deals with. Crazy. Um. So yeah, the big news, I say, they bought WWE and they're gonna merge UFC into one company, which
I don't see how that can work.
anyway. Yeah, I mean, I think the idea is they're gonna be one company, but they'll still be operating as separate organizations, if you like. Which I think that's the key. Don't think you can do them both at the same. Just as you say, that just doesn't work.
See, I've been told that for over 20 years now, that we can have Raw and SmackDown rosters completely separate. There'll be no crossing over. Now they're going to do it again. WWE and UFC, they're going to be completely separate. Now,
Funny you mention that.
know,
Funny you mention that.
next thing you know,
Funny you mention that.
I mean, I could
John
certainly
Jones will
see
be
them.
on Raw.
Yeah, I think one of the Endeavor people said yesterday, and there's definitely going to be a lot of crossover potential. So, you're going to see the UFC guys on Raw every now and then, and vice versa. I think I wouldn't even surprise me if it was some point down the road you see like cross promotion events, wrestling matches and UFC matches in one.
That does happen. The mixed shows occasionally on the indies, and I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to work. I think that they're too different. They're very similar, but MMA is like the real version of what WWE is pretending to be.
Well, yeah, I think that a lot of the
I don't know
negative,
if they can coexist with that.
a lot of the negativity I've seen since this was announced has not really come from the WWE side. It's come from UFC fans.
Yeah, I bet.
They don't like WWE. It came out when Lesnar first came over, didn't they? They've always seen it as fake fighting. Which, at the end of the day, it is. Obviously, we all know there's a degree of athleticism. But at the end of the day, it is staged fake fighting. And the UFC people don't like that. They never will.
No, and a lot of them in the late 2000s, 08, 09, 2010, kind of when UFC was really picking up, it coincided with when WWE interest was going way down through the Cena era. And a lot of people kind of grew out of the wrestling thing and went into UFC. It's like, well, okay, these guys are doing what I used to like in the pro wrestling.
Exactly. Yeah.
So now they're kind of like, no, we're forcing our way back in. You will be watching this bullshit if you like it or not.
I mean, it makes sense for the likes of the Endeavor side of it. For the likes, obviously there's a lot of similarities. They run shows in arenas, they run pay-per-views. There's that kind of stuff. But I think you've still got to have a degree of running things separately. Like you say, you're just not gonna. The UFC fans will not watch WWE.
No.
They might watch a clip
the
every
ones
now
that
and
would
then,
already do.
Yeah. But so yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving on. As part of that, one of the biggest stories as well is Vince is now executive chairman.
Regular chairman wasn't good enough.
No, he's executive chairman now. And Dana White is the UFC president.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think he was anyway, wasn't he? That was his title anyway. And Nick Khan is now. He's not CEO anymore. He's now WWE president. Which I don't really know what it means day to day.
Yeah, I don't know what any of this stuff means now. Then it sounds like they're all in charge of everything.
There's a lot of what's the Endeavor guy? Ari Emanuel, is that his name?
Something like that,
yeah.
He's he's overseeing the law. So he's basically in charge of the law. We don't know what this is going to be made into this new company. We don't know what the company's going to be called yet. Apparently, that's going to be announced soon, according to what Vince said in that interview where he looked like a 1950s mob boss. Right now, they're just calling it Newco. I think that's just the generic term most companies use when they're merging.
Right.
So yeah,
like
answers on a
new project. It's like the placeholder.
So then that all broke in the daytime, and then it was announced that Triple H was going to address the fans on Raw. went on the air.
Did he say then, now, forever together?
He did. That's exactly what he said.
Did he say anything else?
It was quite nice, actually. He went on to thank everyone for, all the records they broke over WrestleMania weekend and stuff. And he thanked all the crew and the everyone involved, and even thanked Stu, the cameraman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Which was nice. That he got quite a decent pop, actually, when you mentioned his name. They even started chanting Stu when he said that. And then he basically ended it by saying he didn't really address the news as such, but he said we've been in the news a lot today lately. And didn't really say what it was all about, but we're all supposed to just know what's happened. And he said the quote was, "The same WWE that we know and love is going nowhere. The superstars, the action, the drama, all of it, we're going nowhere. We'll be here week in and week out. Event after event, sold out arena after sold out arena. Packed stadium after packed stadium. Because we are the WWE, and just like it says in the beginning, then, now, forever, together." And then everyone went mad and his music started playing. Actually, no, it didn't, because he introduced Roman Reigns. So yeah, Roman came out, and then there was this with the Cody bit then. So Cody came out in got all of his usual pyro entrance and what have you. And they teased they were going to do a rematch that night, but Roman was having none of it. And he just said no and walked out, basically. But then they agreed to have a tag match instead. So it was going to be Roman and Solo against Cody and a partner who we didn't know yet. But they said there was a stipulation that whoever he picked, if they lost, whoever his partner was couldn't have a title shot at Roman ever. And then Lesnar come out, because it was quite a bit good storytelling, actually, because I forgot. But he lost his match, didn't he, a few months ago against Reigns, and that was a stipulation. If he lost, he could never have a title match against Reigns ever.
I forgot that bit, but yeah,
I'd forgot
they'd had a few matches, yeah.
So when Lesnar came out and said, "I'll be your partner," they were all like, "Well, that stipulation doesn't apply to him, does it?" So it's kind of win-win. So that was kind of clever. So yeah, then that was the announcement of the big main event. It was going to be Cody and Lesnar versus Reigns and Solo. Then we got Omos and Elias for some reason. Omos just watched him.
Yeah. Because he lost to Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Austin Theory seems to be going after Rey Mysterio.
Yes, then we had Bad Bunny was at ringside. And then Joe and Mysterio's match with Theory, Dom came out and was saying a few things, shouting at him at Bad Bunny and stuff. And then Bad Bunny hit Dominic. So I think they're going to be teasing some sort of tag match, possibly
in Puerto Rico
Bad
for
Bunny.
Backlash.
Yeah, Puerto Rico, possibly Bunny and Mysterio against Priest and Dominic. That'll probably go over really well, because obviously Bunny's hometown is Puerto Rico, isn't it? So they'll get a good reaction there. I'm trying to think what else happened. Let me get the. There we go. You got it up there?
Yeah, I got it on the Street Profits challenge Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defeat the Street Profits.
Yeah. That was probably the best bit, actually, the whole night. It wasn't necessarily a bad match, though. This was early on as well, so I don't think Vince's rewrites had taken much effect yet. The next bit was just odd. We saw Rollins backstage doing an interview with one of the ring announcers or whatever, and then he said he was
Kathy
coming
Kelly.
out. Kathy Kelly, that was it. And he said he was coming out, and he started playing his song, and then you seen him walk through, and everyone's singing as they do these days. Then he went to ad break, and then when he come back, he was still in the ring, and then he just walked off. We mentioned it before, but we don't really know what's happened, but apparently something changed where he's been told the segment had been cancelled, or something happened. So yeah, don't really know what happened there. But Lashley beat Mustafa Ali for some reason. This was the other weird bit as well. Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan defeated Io Sky and the other one, Dakota Kai. Can't remember her name. This is what I've read recently this week, that apparently Bailey was there and was ready to come out and told not to. So don't know the full story there.
Strange.
Oh.
The Miz come out and said something about his balls again, like he does these days. And then Riddle made his long-awaited return. Now, this made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Because as far as I can remember, Riddle's got no dealings with the Miz recently. Before he was...
Until now.
Until now. So, yeah, I don't really know why he's done this, but...
Here's the white dot again.
And then the main event was this tag match that didn't happen, because as soon as everyone did the entrances and they were doing the ring announcements, Lesnar decided to turn on Cody and absolutely demolished him. F5s all over the place, into the table, into the steps. This was proper old school Lesnar, where he went crazy. Completely battered. I had no explanation as to why yet, but Wade Barrett mentioned something on SmackDown last night. He's heard reports, apparently report, that it was because Lesnar wasn't happy all week, or since Mania, because his match was first up. He wasn't happy with his position on the card.
He didn't want that.
Apparently he didn't want that.
No way. I don't believe it.
I don't believe it either. Now, the thing about the Vince rewrites, apparently this segment was actually supposed to happen anyway. So, Lesnar was supposed to beat down Cody. Whether or not the match was not supposed to happen, I don't know, but it was going to end this way anyway. According to, I think it was Fightful, one of them. He kept coming back as well.
Ding, 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 ding. That's kind of funny.
He battered him and he went off, and then he kept coming back. Came back about 3 times. And then they probably cut out the video. When he's on stage, he gives the camera the middle finger.
Yeah. And people photoshopped Vince's head over his, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. And as his beatdowns go, it's pretty good. He nearly took out Adam Pearce. And he ran away like a scalded dog, as someone used to say.
This seems a bit much to me.
It was a bit.
I don't know what they're trying to say here.
I mean, if it's all down to the fact that he wasn't happy with his position on the card, it's a bit much. So, yeah.
It's not really Cody's fault, I'd say.
No. Well, like, Legend has been heard from since. That was just what I said on SmackDown last night. But yeah, he kept going out with the chair. And he walks off in a minute, and then Cody's getting attended to when he comes back. You can almost see Cody saying, "All right, enough's enough now. Pack it in."
Yeah.
God, he's so red.
Oh yeah, yeah, they cut it out.
Yeah. Usually they have it on the
But yeah,
side,
there was
but
literally nothing happened apart from that main event bit. There was no story progression, no anything. There was the atmosphere as well. There was no that big roar after Mania atmosphere you should always get. There was nothing. There was no surprise, no
No
debuts, no
call-ups, no.
Now, fast forward to SmackDown and Riddle was involved again. This made sense. I don't know whether this was supposed to happen on Raw, maybe, and maybe with Vince not being there, they've changed it. But on SmackDown, which was, like I said before, it was night and day. It was a totally different show. Let me get the results beginning. We started off with a 6-man. It was the Brawling Brutes against Imperium. And this was a really good match. As you'd probably expect from these 6 guys, really, it was just they were just allowed to do what they do, and it was really good. Then there was no Shannon McIntyre, by the way, so I don't know whether the reports we said before about whether he's injured or whether he's taking time off. We don't know, but he wasn't there anyway. Next match was another good one. I see Ricochet against Ivar. Stipulation on this one was that the various tag partners were banned from ringside. So yeah, that was a decent match again. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez had a match with Natalya and Shotzi. I must admit, I don't remember this one. I think I went out the room.
fair enough.
And then we had Triple H back doing his thing again.
Who
2
announced?
appearances in 1 week.
Yeah, who announced the draft, by the way?
Yeah, that was his big thing. He did the whole, thank you for making me loads of money at the weekend speech again. And then his last bit was the draft will be happening in, he said a few weeks. He didn't actually give a date on it, but he'd also said it's going to change the game. Also, that picture there, sorry, that picture from the screenshot, that one there, yeah. You won't know what I'm talking about, Chuck. You look a bit like Sean Dyche.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, he really does. Has really jacked Sean Dyche.
Judgment Day defeat the LWO.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know whether they're dropping the Legado del Fantasma name completely, but they were builders, the LWO. I wish they were out from Raw actually. They did an interesting tease. They had Bianca Belair in the ring doing because she won at Mania. And then Rhea came out and they did a little bit of a tease of some kind of, unification match.
Champion versus
Let's do
champion. Yeah.
Mm.
Hasn't been
Rhea
done before.
Saying,
That
one
works out
day
too.
I'm going to beat you.
You're saying Bianca's time is probably coming to
Yeah.
an end. Rhea's time's just beginning. It's a good time to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was no plans on whether they're going to do it or not, but they definitely teased it.
Well, it would make more sense to do that if they didn't already just announce the draft.
Yeah. Well, unless one of them gets drafted to the other one's show.
Either way, they're the 2 champions. All you have to do is book them in a match on a pay-per-view, and then the title is exclusive to whichever brand that one's on.
True.
Not too much. I think.
Or maybe they could just swap it backstage like they did a few years ago with Becky.
They've done that a couple of times in the tag belts, haven't they?
Yeah. And Matt Riddle saves Sami Zayn in the main event.
Yeah, so this actually made sense. So they had a match. It was Sami and Solo. And then they ended up in the usual Bloodline beatdown. And then Riddle came out just for the save for Sami. I'll say this actually made sense because months ago when Riddle was taken out, when he was last on SmackDown, he was taken out by Solo. Which I'd actually forgotten about. It was when Cole mentioned it. But yeah, this made a lot more sense than them just randomly attacking the Miz for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Miz.
Well, yeah. Before that, the reason why Kevin Owens wasn't there, because the Bloodline took him out backstage. They hit him with a crate. So yeah, Sammy was on his own. I really like that champion shirt. Quite cool.
What the Solo has or Sammy?
No, the Sammy's got on.
We can get a shot of it.
It's in the thumbnail actually. The still.
Oh, I can't put it.
There it is.
Well, there you go. WrestleMania champions. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Looks baseball themed.
It's very. I thought it was very soccer themed. I thought they do
Oh,
that
that.
when
Yeah, sure.
when certain football teams win titles, don't they?
I wouldn't know.
No, well,
It's been a while since we won a title.
you won't know this year, either. Hey.
See about that.
So yeah, there's not really been. I mean, there isn't normally that much progression anyway. The week after Mania, it's more of a recovery week, if anything, isn't it? They don't really get much in the way of story. But yeah, that Raw was a big letdown. You know, normally you get one or two surprises or something happened, but there was literally nothing. It was, and then it come out since then. You know that Vince was largely in charge of it. So that's your WWE for the week.
All right.
There was a lot of fan backlash on social media.
Yeah.
The hashtag. Well, we saw your backlash. That was
Well,
that was quite chunky.
but I didn't even see the shows. It was just I heard the story. And thought, oh God, we were so close. It was all going so well, or at least better. Thought we were done with this. He's so old that surely he has to stop at some point, and that was like the time he was out.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah, I remember the segment. Yeah, they were all playing 2K23 backstage. LA Knight doesn't play games apparently. Didn't he throw a controller at the wall or something?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to see.
Oh.
One's wired, the other one's wireless. And I'm trying to see if the one that what's his face here is a Xbox controller.
That's
No,
a PS.
no, it's a piece. That's okay.
Yeah.
'Cause that would seem like something the WWE would do, is like mix up the controller
control.
detail. Yeah.
I'd
the
imagine when
team
Xavier
seller.
Woods there, he would say, "No, I'm not doing it. If we have two different controllers." He knows he's not going to be involved in something with.
He knows his shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see him throw it watching this. See what he does with it.
He's gonna hit that Portlandia. Let's see here.
Oh.
Oh, he's touching it. He's touching his property.
Oh, 50 quid then. Oh, he didn't break that. Yeah, oh, you're right.
He threw it into a cushion. It's off screen there.
Why is it? Why is Emma there? What the fuck?
She's going out with Madcap, isn't she?
Wait, IRL or?
Both, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but this toss isn't that bad. I'm sorry. That's like a bad night of like, I don't know, like Rocket League or something. Yeah, he just chucks it.
Yeah, that'll be fine. It didn't even change the screen
Yeah.
on that
No.
one.
So you're saying LA Knight doesn't play games,
Apparently not. No.
and yet he himself is a creator wrestler.
Wait a minute.
Look at
Look at the screen here. Look at the screen. Look at the TV
What's
screen
the
here.
controller on the screen.
That's a fucking. That's Xbox.
Oh, it is, you know. Yeah.
It is.
They were definitely playing it though. Go back to the start.
Let's have a better look at this controller
Madcap
then.
was playing it. Madcap was playing it.
He was.
That's
You're
definitely
right.
a PS5 controller. Yeah,
But yeah.
that looks like one too, though.
I don't know. I think not so.
With a big touchpad in the middle. Xbox
really
would have
see it.
like the Xbox logo button
Yeah.
in the middle.
Man, if only I could zoom in on that. Yeah, it definitely kind of does look like... yeah, that looks like the circle on the far right and then the triangle at the top.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Is it?
But would it be like... I don't know. Wouldn't it be then on WWE Games' behalf for not having the right controller detail in the game that you're playing on? Like it would have like an Xbox controller on the PS5 version?
Would be weird.
Unlikely, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Anyway, oh yeah, here's the follow-up to the what Will was talking about here. I'm just gonna speed this up because this was so
Did
fucking.
anyone throw a rubber chicken at him this time?
That was hilarious. By the way, we didn't mention that. Here, can I go 2 times here? Oh hell yeah! I was like, I don't need help. I'm an American. I don't need your health care.
Yeah, right. He doesn't want to pay for it.
He's struggling to get up. He's breathing up.
Oh, no,
He collapsed. God, that neck
Double
tattoo.
speed, it just looks funny though. It all looks
Yeah.
like comedy.
That neck tattoo
The
is so
talent,
shitty.
the talent in that ring, you've got Cody Rhodes, Jamie Noble, and what's her name? Shane Helm
Shane Helms, yeah.
and Adam
Oh, yeah.
Pearce.
God, Shane Helms is looking chunky these days, isn't he?
Well, he's a dad, so I mean that's fine.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And Adam Pearce.
Tom, and there's Corey.
What is he? He's had a knock on the head. What is he wearing these days?
It's like a bunch of cat
Seth
silhouettes.
Rollins old suits.
Yeah.
Like a pair of curtains or something.
Now here's the best part.
The best part is when he falls over nothing.
Yeah.
On the
Yeah.
stage.
He goes up. You gave it away, Will. He goes up here and then
Sorry.
just,
Sorry.
he looks back at the crowd and he's like, "Goodbye, everybody." Oh.
It's in the double time, it's
Someone
looked like
has
Shane
edited
tearing
it.
his quad.
Someone edited that and put the rubber chicken on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, that so bad. Stay in the chat says there's a WWE draft and I think NXT are eligible.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think so.
we didn't say that, but yeah, he did say every superstar will be eligible.
Yeah.
So
That
that'd be
brings us to our thumbs up, thumbs down of the week. If I can get the graphic queued up here, sorry. Which we'll incorporate with stuff from Dynamite, and then you can kind of chime in on this being worthy of thumbs up or thumbs down. So here we go.
Oof.
I've just seen apparently that there's some talk of the draft being on May the 8th.
May the 8th, okay.
They're in Jacksonville, of all places.
Ha!
Every superstar is eligible.
That's right.
Draft Kenny Omega.
Yeah, the current planned date, the upcoming WWE draft is May the 8th in Jacksonville, Florida.
Haven't they
What
been
day
doing
is that? Is that
2-night
Monday or
drafts?
Friday?
That's Monday. Yeah, that's a Raw. But don't they usually do 2 nights? They do a Raw one and a SmackDown one, so it might
Yeah.
be the 8th and the something.
The last time we did one, they didn't do one last year, did they? The time before
No,
that, they started it on SmackDown. They see SmackDown as the A show now, don't they? Because it's on Fox.
Yeah.
So they tend to have a big doing on SmackDown, and then following night on, or following Monday on Raw. But that's just a rumor. Nothing's actually been announced just yet.
Mhm.
Would make sense. Best and worst, I don't know. I'll say the obvious one really for worst is
Jeff
Vince
Jarrett.
McMahon.
It's already there.
So did it. Vince McMahon's return to creative.
Yeah.
And that's a no-brainer, I feel.
Fingers crossed it was just for one night, but remains to be seen.
That's you've stolen the good one there.
You can have it too.
Yeah, it's a bit cheap, but still. I mean, I would take Jeff Jarrett, but he wasn't even on the TV this week, so I can't have that.
He hasn't been on TV for a while, for what it's worth.
Yeah, it's good. Damn, what am I going to be negative about this week that isn't Vince? That's really the big one. WrestleMania booking, that's kind of its thing. I mean, still.
I'm gonna go. While you're thinking, sorry, I'm gonna say thumbs up. WrestleMania. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Guess what my thumbs down will be? No, I'm just kidding.
Let's do thumbs down in a kind of vague way. The main event of WrestleMania, whether it's dropping the ball on Cody or whatever it was that they got wrong there, they really got it wrong. No one was happy with that. I don't know if they think it's Cody's fault that he wasn't ready, in which case, well, that's kind of their fault for not having someone else that they could have plugged in there, not sorting something out with The Rock, whatever it was, that main event scene, that shouldn't be how WrestleMania ended.
Oh man, I don't want to give it a full thumbs down. I kind of want to give it a sort of thumbs down, but how can I word this? Here, I'll just put it like this. Dixie Carter vibes from Tony Khan's announcements. I don't know, man. It
was so good.
Look, I don't have a problem with All In being announced for the London show, the London debut in Wembley, that's going to be huge.
That's huge.
But
I've already booked my Airbnb for that weekend.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah,
cost a fortune, but it's right next to Wembley Stadium.
I don't know.
I might have to join you there.
Just need to get tickets now. There's a massive waste of money if I can't actually get tickets.
I'll talk about it after the show. I've got something to tell you there.
Oh wait.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm not really. I don't know. It's hard to articulate, but it's just bad vibes from this because it reminds me of TNA in a bad way, where Dixie Carter would announce, "Hey, we're going to the UK." And, they had the UK shows in the O2 Arena, which were pretty good. They had a healthy crowd. Arena. Yeah. And they were able to fill it out. So, I don't know. I'm
really surprised that they're in stadium. I thought they'd do maybe Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
Or the O2 maybe, or, an arena. But to do it. And Wembley Stadium as well.
Wembley's massive.
I will say this one...
As big as they can go.
This one's better than just having Adam Cole show up and just be like, "Hey, all access, tune into it." It's basically Total Divas.
In terms of the announcement itself, he can't do announcements. I don't think his eyes moved during that announcement.
No, I disagree. I think he can. It's just the content of whatever the announcement is not there. It's not.
The content of this announcement, the content was all that was there. This is a huge announcement.
Oh, I think you guys are. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
But they had Nigel McGuinness. So it was like they had the commentators with their wonky monitors. They actually didn't look too bad this week. They had the commentators throw over to their newest member of the commentary team or whatever, Nigel McGuinness. That's cool. I didn't even know he'd left WWE. I thought he was still on the shelf or something.
He's
That's
all
cool.
elite
Nice to
now.
see him.
Yeah.
He's all elite now.
Mm.
And then Nigel McGuinness introduces Tony Khan, who is like the most wooden guy. He was reading a script from behind the camera, I guess, and trying to sound enthusiastic when he can't deliver a line. It's just not his job. It's not his role. He can't do it. So that should be a thumbs down.
Yeah.
So I found that kind of hilarious. He said, we're doing All In again, doing it from the UK.
There's the,
And he threw to Adam Cole again.
Yeah.
Every time he has an announcement, he goes to Adam Cole to make it.
yeah.
Just have Adam Cole there. Why
Yeah.
did you need to be there at all?
There's the monitors for this week, FYI, since you
The
you
one
brought
on
it
the
up.
left is really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just a rip at this point.
It's just for you. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, it winds me up every fucking time. Because how hard is it to just level like a TV screen? Get a leveler out, make sure everything's good to go. I think the one on the left is larger by like an inch or something. I don't know. Anyway.
I think my thumbs up is the announcement of All In at Wembley, because he said we're doing All In, we're doing it in the UK and at the arena, and I was thinking it's going to be Craven Cottage, isn't it? Obviously it's going to be Fulham's ground, like where else is it going to be? And he said Wembley. Holy shit, that's legit, that's big.
Again,
He
I
actually
think
takes
this,
business here, he's
it's just a
serious.
little bit of a bias because I think of, it's you guys are in the UK, I'm over here in the States.
Mhm.
If he would have announced, I would also say if he would have announced, like, hey, we're selling out this really big place, I would probably be like, still kind of like, okay. I don't know. It's just, I hope the show does well. I can't get excited for just being like, hey, we're going to this place, sell it out. It's really large. It's really big, people.
It's really big. So I agree when they say we're doing our next pay-per-view and it's in Chicago. That obviously means nothing to me. So I agree with you there. It's
Yeah.
difficult to get excited when you're clearly just not going to go.
Right.
But for us, that's a pretty big deal. We can go to London. London's simple enough. It's bollock to get around when you're there, but you can get there. So yeah, straight away I booked the Airbnb. Said like, let's see what's in that area. Oh shit, that's expensive, but I guess that's what we're doing. Sorry, Money in the Bank, I'm not going to you. I'll go to All In instead.
I mentioned this on Twitter when it was announced. I was looking to go into Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
The tickets are just ridiculous.
Oh really?
So
they 4,000 again.
Oh yeah, you're talking. They had £75, and you're talking. You might as well be outside. The cheapest one. So I think, obviously, it's a bigger venue, much bigger venue. And if they've got any sense about them, AEW, they'll recognise that WWE are pricing people out now.
Yeah.
So they should be more reasonably priced. If they want to sell out as well, 'cause I think that's what they're aiming for, and if they want to say they've sold out Wembley. So let's hope that they're reasonably priced.
Yeah. I think it's got to be a good show. They always are. Money in the Bank. Again, like I was saying with Hell in a Cell, it's just they're not. They don't mean what they used to. I wish I could be more enthusiastic about Money in the Bank. 15 years ago, I would have been super hyped to go to a Money in the Bank show. Now it's.
I still think it'll still be a big show. I think it'll still be a decent, especially with a London crowd. They've got a big, amazing atmosphere in the O2. I would have loved to have been there, but the prices are just pricing normal fans out.
And from what you said, Triple H said earlier on, we're not going to change plans even if everyone in London wants us to do something. We're just not going to do it. A bit of a kick in the pants, really, isn't it? go to the other show, then they're more likely to give me what I want to see.
Yeah.
There we go. Mine's basically AEW Dynamite after Mania putting on a palatable wrestling show with Riho losing, the MJF musical, Jay White showing up, and FTR staying and winning the tag belts.
The MJF musical was going to get my thumb this week until that announcement. I know we saw him doing a little song during the dinner debonair.
Yeah,
he put on a full-on musical this time, and the guy's actually surprisingly talented. Who saw that coming?
Let's see. What else?
I'd like to think that big fan has been behind that screen ever since he did the rebrand show.
I'm glad you bring that up, because that is kind of a thumbs down. Is the fact that this stage has too many fucking Tonytrons going on here. There's 8. There's 8 fucking screens here.
There's a lot of screens.
There's 2 on the side, the main one up there. They have like a mini one below the main one, so that's 4. And then you have 2 of these little square things here on the sides. That's 8. Too many.
It is too many.
Not only that, the fucking TVs are uneven on the announce table. Like, I just noticed that in that shot there. That's almost a thumbs down. My other man, it's hard to pick one, but if I had to give a thumbs down, besides the obvious WrestleMania, or at least the main event of it, it would be. This is a decent one. AEW All Access not providing all access. So I'm just gonna put this in here. Is that on? Yeah, that's on the screen. So that's. Yeah. Our cameras are asked to not roll sound on Britt and Saraya as they discuss their upcoming live promo. This was when Saraya was, I believe, her making her debut or something like that, or the week after or something, to hype up Revolution. So they can film them. They just couldn't get audio for whatever reason. Great.
For a promo that has already aired.
Yeah, we just couldn't get any behind the
what
scenes.
She said.
Right, we just couldn't get any behind the scenes juice.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good show, that Dynamite. Nice to see FTR staying. There was that rumor that their contracts were up, so I guess that was what they were teasing. They're going to leave the company.
And that kind of also complements, WrestleMania weekend in a negative light. Like, how many people are going to see, that finished where Cody loses and then decide, you know what, I want to work there.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially with Vince coming back, like FTR, if you remember, they were gonna rebrand FTR as like a comedy tag team with those ugly outfits and things like that. I had here. Let me see if I can find the image here. I don't know.
Yeah, and they told a story that they were given that thing. This is what we're doing with you, and they kind of knowing that they were on the way out said, if this is what you want to do with us, we'll do it. But, like, we're going. It won't be for long. We're off. And then they said, oh, don't bother. We'll drop it. It's like they were doing it deliberately to humiliate them. For some reason. And when they said, well, okay then. It was
I've not seen this before.
Yeah, when the Revival were on their way out, this is what WWE was originally going to pitch to them. To dress up and wear whatever this shit is.
Yeah.
I like the red and yellow. Those are my colors.
Because they're going with the first row on the hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the red and yellow, that's Hogan's colours.
Fuck Hulk Hogan.
What's the thing around his neck? That's
Shatter Machine.
Shatter Machine, big old pendant.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a clock, I guess. Look at that.
Yeah, it's Flavor Flav. Obviously, a timely reference.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to amuse an audience of one who likes the Eagles in 2023, who'd rather go to a concert of them rather than deal with SmackDown stuff. So there you go.
Check out anytime he likes, but he can never leave, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weird story. They just went along with it, and then Vince lost interest in it. Like, that's not the reaction you wanted. So you're right. They shouldn't be thinking of going back there. We said the same about Cody. Look at what he was doing before he left.
Right.
That obviously didn't go as badly, but it also wasn't the massive success that we were also expecting.
And if Cody does happen to be like, you know, just a mid-card guy now, and he goes back to AEW, you know, let's say like, I don't know, a couple of years down the line, he still can't challenge for the AEW title.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I just that main event really kind of just, I don't know. Nobody comes out of it looking good. Vince doesn't look good because, you know, he's an old pervert, and he still is an old pervert who doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Cody looks like an absolute goof. Reigns might start, you know, becoming quote-unquote boring because he has the title for over 1,000 days. Just to break some measly records. Yeah, -1 doesn't even. I mean, he got the weight belt, and then it was taken away from him by Solo Sikoa during that match, which we didn't make a mention of.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. It just everybody. I don't know. It's just, that main event, you just really left a sour taste in my mouth. If you didn't pick it, I would also probably throw it in my box there.
Yeah, I think that's that and Vince. They're the obvious downers of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying, it's not a good sign for anyone thinking of making the jump.
Yeah.
And it
MJF.
had done so well as well. Not long ago, he was being pushed. This time last year, he came back at WrestleMania. He was made to be a big deal. Kept his own gimmick and look and entrance and music and everything. And the feeling was, oh, actually, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe they're not vindictive anymore. Maybe you can actually work. If, I don't know, Kenny Omega or whatever were to go there, he might actually be a big deal. Now, they've definitely lost that.
Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to?
Was this week? Yes, check my thing. So we got Mania predictions. I've done the recaps. Vince is back. Yeah, thumbs up, down, all in at Wembley. All right, one last little something here. There was a tweet from Inside the Ropes. I guess they're probably some kind of podcast or something. You know,
I've heard of them. Yeah.
who doesn't have podcasts these days?
They usually clip stuff and then post it like years after the fact.
Okay,
So
they're
okay.
Yeah, it's nothing bad. They just asked the question, who was on the Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling? I'm just wondering if you got any, like, kind of off the top of your head, who's the big four tag teams in tag wrestling history?
Dudley's
We
would
always
have
talk
to be on
about
there.
who's the big four in singles, and it's, I don't know, San Martino and Hogan and Austin and take your pick, Flair or whatever. Tags are a little more difficult.
Dudley's would have
I
to
can
be on
give you
there.
Dudley's, Hardy's, Edge and Christian. Don't know what your fourth would be though.
That's all very recent. You know, you wouldn't go back to
Jesse and Festus.
Jesse Biscuits and Gravy.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say Road Warriors? Midnight Express, maybe?
A bit after my time. Maybe Bushwhackers.
God damn it, the Bushwhackers.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Bushwhacker Butch.
Yeah, I wouldn't put any of those on there.
No,
I give an honourable mention to the Hardys, Dudleys, and Edge and Christian. I think they were a big deal at a big time in history. I don't think they lasted long enough, but they were they stood out in an era where they could easily have been overshadowed by Rock and Austin and other big things going on. They were good.
I would definitely,
really good.
Yeah, I would definitely put Hardys, Dudleys. Yeah, probably Edge and Christian could be on there for sure. And yeah, Jesse and Festus. What's wrong with them?
Jesse and Festus. I just wasn't expecting it. Slam Master J these days. What's happened to that guy?
God. I don't know. I can't think of a really good fourth. Maybe Kane and Undertaker, but they're both kind of chuds nowadays.
Yeah. See, I've seen a lot of replies here. I've replied with, again, before my time, like you said, but I know the significance of a tag team being able to main event, like legitimately main event, because that's not happened very often in history.
That's true.
So
yeah.
I've gone with Freebirds, not the Von Erichs. I know it was mostly a tag thing, but I've gone with Freebirds, Midnight Express, Road Warriors, and the Young Bucks. That's controversial, but I've gone with the Young Bucks because I think they kind of define this era more than anyone else.
That's fair. We are living in Generation
They
Me.
deliver. We are exactly. I've given shout outs to Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian, the Usos. I think the Usos are a good shout.
They're drunks.
Yeah.
They are drunk. So's Jeff when you put him on there.
Jeff, as far as we know, is trying to get it together, but he's been trying to get it together for like 10 years now.
He's been trying and failing for a long time.
Yeah.
FTR is obviously very good. I'd have to wait a little while, but they're definitely...
if they hang around a little bit longer, I think they could
exactly.
definitely be on there.
They have some skills. I think the Usos of the WWE era in WWE, easily. I don't think there's anyone better than Usos in the last 20 years in WWE.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Who else? Who else is even in that question? Someone here said the Usos, Young Bucks, 3D. I can see the Dudleys. I think God. Motor City Machine Guns.
No.
What?
Maybe in
I love me
TNA.
some Motor City Machine Guns.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but top 4 of all time.
If they would have gotten TNA out of that funk of post-Russo assassination attempt and Hogan trying to kill the company, then yeah, sure. Otherwise, no.
This guy's gone with Edge and Christian, Usos, FTR, and Briscoes. Briscoes is I can see it. I don't know them that well, but
reach for the sky. Maybe Briscoes if they didn't have that whole homophobic
it's one time
angle. I know, yeah. It ruined it. I mean, it fucking ruined them.
Yeah, it ruined a lot of
All it
opportunities for
takes is one tweet.
Young Bucks, Dudleys, Briscoes, Legion of Doom, New Day. So this guy's got the New Day.
New Day. You know what? Take Edge. Take the Hardys. Oh man.
I think the Usos are a good shot there. I'd say Edge and Christian, Dudleys, Hardys, and the Usos. I know it's all fairly recent.
Fuck it, I'll have New Day
very
as my
recent,
fourth.
very WWE.
I'll have my fourth as the New Day on there.
You put the New Day on there. All right.
Because they had the fight to be like a group against like Vince and for all we know, like they're a group that should not have worked, but it worked because it was supposed to be like a gospel
definitely
sort of thing, and then it turned into what we know. Basically, throwing pancakes out in what they are nowadays. So.
And how many times along the line they must have been told we're splitting you up?
Yeah.
The Shield fought it one time and they managed to stay together for another year or so.
Yeah.
But it was inevitable. It's going to happen. These guys, I can only imagine it's got to be every couple of weeks we're doing it. And they said
did
no.
you see the Kofi's little documentary they made before he had the match at Mania a few years ago?
I don't think I did.
He said that when it was not long after they started the gimmick and no one was buying into it, he reckons, I'm pretty sure he says he thinks they're about a week away from being released.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because like they were
No.
not doing anything, and then they just
Yeah.
before the whole colorful outfits and things like that, they were supposed to be like this gospel sort of ragtag
Kinda,
of
but
three
I
dudes.
don't remember even before that. Like the first time they were put together, I don't know if Kofi and Big E were having a match or something, but Xavier Woods showed up and he was being all like super serious.
Yeah,
He's like, "We've been held down, but now we take what we want."
that's
That
right.
was his.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they disappeared for a while and came back with a gospel video.
That's right.
That was a different thing. That would never have worked. Not like this did. That's something to be said for the New Day. I like the New Day. I don't know if I'll put them on the old mountain, but
I would. That would be
I
my
like those
fourth.
guys. All right.
All right.
We've carved some faces. I think that's it, isn't it?
2.5 hours.
3 hours now.
2.5.
2.5 hours.
We'll be back next
Mania
week.
special?
Yeah, yeah. You won both shows. Like, come on, it's a big show. It's a big program. We'll be back next
this year. You guys really pushed me.
Yeah, it was close at the end there for sure.
Yeah.
Next week, if we got news to divulge, we'll be here. When's the next pay-per-view? Will, I know it's Backlash, but when is
it?
Probably going to be.
No, is it not? Is it Backlash next one? Oh, of course it
No,
is.
wait, Double or Nothing has to be soon, right? Because they're building
Backlash, May the 6th.
Backlash, May the 6th, okay. Yeah,
May 28th for the Double or Nothing. Okay, that's.
Yeah, we got plenty of time. We can kind of float around here and there. So yeah, if anything major breaks, we should be back next week.
Double or Nothing will be held on the same day as Battleground. Oh, that's NXT. Never mind.
Gotcha.
Yeah. No, Michaels got asked about that, and he said it wasn't planned.
Oh, it was an accident. Ooh.
Yeah.
My eye saw one date, and my other eye saw another date.
I did see a report about, just briefly. Wow. The All In London. It could be a week either before or after. I'm not sure how. Can't remember the report exactly. From when All Out should be. So there wasn't sure whether they're gonna just replace All Out for this year, or maybe they're gonna have 2 pay-per-views in space of a week. Can't see them doing that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think.
Some discussion.
Was there
Okay,
venue
here I am.
booked or anything?
Sorry.
Was there much booked about All Out, or was it just penciled in for a date?
No, I think it was just penciled in. There wasn't.
Right, so I'm pretty sure it's changed. There's nothing on the timeline here on the chronology. All Out. I think they've just changed it. Which also means they must have. Who owned the All In name? It wasn't Ring of Honor, was it?
But I read that during the week. Apparently, it was Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because All In, the original All In, although it was an independent show, I think it was for like tax purposes or something. It was put on by Ring of Honor.
A lot of them worked for them at the time.
Yeah. So yeah, I think
guess
that's
we've
why
got the
they've
rest of
not
that.
been able to use the name for now. Till now. Interesting times ahead. It's been interesting
Yeah.
a few months because you've got. So I think I've seen the next 4 WWE pay-per-views or premium live events aren't actually in the US. You got the Backlash
Really?
coming up in Puerto Rico. They're in Saudi at some point after that, and then there's Money in the Bank in London. I think there's one more somewhere in between. I think the next one's like SummerSlam, I think, or something. Kind of crazy. Next 3 or 4, but it's definitely a little gap where they're not actually doing pay-per-views
Backlash
in the
in
US.
Puerto Rico. We've got King and Queen of the Ring in Jeddah.
Yeah.
We've got Battleground, that NXT one, Money in the Bank, London, England, and SummerSlam, Detroit. So they may be cramming some. There's nothing scheduled for June, late May and early July. So maybe they'll squeeze another one in. I don't know. But yeah, the next 3.
Yeah. Because Triple H made a big deal of it. Oh, but he mentioned in the press conference, he said, we are a global company. Basically not doing our next 4 big shows are outside the US.
Well,
So yeah, interesting times ahead.
Alrighty.
yeah.
We'll see what happens. Stay in the chat says, I can thumbs down WWE not splitting up the WWE and UK championships. Yeah, okay, sure. I just noticed that in the chat there, sorry.
Is that universal?
Oh, maybe yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
No, I thumbs down that thumbs down. They should just have the one.
Yeah. I like
unify everything, just keep the one of each.
I like the one. I didn't at first, but I've got used to it now. I like it.
Fair enough.
I do think they should get rid of both belts, though. They need a single belt.
Just the one belt. I agree.
We'll be back next week if there's stuff to talk about. Until then, we'll see you next time. Have a great one. Like, comment, subscribe if you like the show. And follow us on the socials. We'll see you next time. Have a great one, everybody. Good night. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.